Fontaine.
I give you an.
Oh, that's your last name, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's your last name.
Oh, actually, is there a way that I can label like who is each character?
Yeah, I don't know who right now.
Okay, well, can y'all jump over to your journal? Do you see all 6 player characters in a folder called PCs?
Oh,
You see all 6, right?
I see 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I see 5.
Okay, so who's missing? Bartholomew, Rusty, Ethel, Cavill, Jeffrey, or Crew? Cavill? Okay, let me fix that real quick. Oh yeah, I see. Okay, that should have popped up for everyone then.
Yeah.
And so what I'll just do is I'll go in and I'll add Bartholomew is Ashton in parentheses. Rusty is Egan. These naming conventions are not going to be standardized across you guys because I do not call you the same thing.
Yeah.
This is Savannah. Cavill is... Who's Cavill? That's White.
White.
Jeff is Tanner. And Crew is Aaron. Alright, so now you should see a little parentheses in the journal for everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Are you gonna be recording this, by the way?
Yeah, I've been recording for a couple minutes.
Have you made sure that your recording is like proper? Because
I turned up the Discord volume, yes.
Okay.
Yes, I did. Yes. I don't know if it's good, but I like doubled it. And looking at the little moving bars.
You're actually recording your voice this time, right?
My voice was recording just fine in the last one.
Voice was crystal clear. It
But
was everybody else.
It was just that first. I actually never watched the actual recording. I only watched the little clip from the start when you were testing it, and your voice wasn't recording.
Oh yeah, no, that was just the 2-second test recording.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, so 2 things that I wanted to do before we kick this shit off and see what the fuck is about to happen.
What's going on?
1, there was one thing that I forgot to mention last week, and I'm not saying that this is going to come into play today at all, but I want to just say this outright at the very beginning, just to clear the air on it. The 6 of you are in Waterdeep, which is a massive city in a massive continent in a massive empire. You're all 6 level 1 adventurers, which means you are very small fish in a very large pond, right? So there are people and there are things that you can encounter in Waterdeep that are very fucking scary. So just keep that in mind as you adventure around and meet people and go places. There are very well people who are way more powerful than you are, period.
So what you're saying is, Egan, don't start fights with everybody.
The orc was coming at us, okay?
Guys with doors, really.
Doors and orcs. Keep them away from those.
Sounds like a rap.
And agenda item number 2 is I've been like playing around with this mentally today. I kind of want to skip past, not all of it, but like a good amount of the getting to know you period. So here's what I'll say. I need 1 volunteer.
White.
Go.
All right. I heard Egan first. All right, so Egan is... It's going to take me a while to learn your fucking people. Egan's Rusty. Okay, Rusty. Since you've been in Waterdeep, which of these 5 people, just looking at the pictures, do you think you are most likely to have met before? Encountered, that you would be going into the yawning portal, a tavern, with?
I'd say most likely Jeffrey, since he's also an artificer.
Okay, so artificers. Okay, Ethel, this little owlkin. Of the 3 remaining here, who do you think you are most likely to have encountered and become an acquaintance of in Waterdeep and are going into the Yawning Portal with?
Jesus. Let's go with Crew.
Crew?
Crow?
Hey,
Okay.
let's
That's what I
go.
was gonna pick.
Which means the two humans races
Chorus.
have
Fucking ass.
have become slight acquaintances. Okay.
And
Okay.
we're both
cool.
white too.
Wait, quick question.
Mhm.
On the right side, Ethel, it doesn't say Savannah. Is that just bugged for me?
Oh, it doesn't.
I don't see
no,
it
it
either. But at
doesn't.
this point, do we need it?
No.
I mean, just so it's there. It's gonna bug
Yep.
me. Just-
Thank you. I think I might have forgotten to click save changes.
Thank you.
There we go. Okay. Are there any questions before we kick this shit off?
No.
Don't be mad when I mess up and don't know what my
Yeah, me
abilities
too.
do or anything like that.
As long as we're learning, everybody's cool.
I might get up in between to get my food as well. But it's,
Yeah?
You'd have time, like, in
Yeah.
for a fight or something.
yeah.
Okay. Well, let me fucking close OBS here. Get my screen in order.
Also, how come I can't open up like my character sheet or anything?
You gotta pop it out.
Reload the web page if it's not popping out.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, it's like
Being a bit slow for me too right
being
now.
weird. Like it just won't. It just is continuously loading.
9 times out of 10, when you encounter an issue with something not opening, you just need to reload the website. Yeah,
Just did.
yeah. That's usually the,
Oh, it's actually happening for me too. So, I mean,
Yeah, everybody double check and make sure you can open your character sheet.
Taking a long fucking time.
Ah, there we go. Character sheet. How do you pop it out again?
A little
side
top
button.
left, yeah.
The double window.
You can also
I
set
see.
it to automatically pop out in the
Well,
settings.
I'm just gonna open it up and put it on my second monitor.
You know, because we have one of those.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
I do have one of those, thank you.
Oh, you're right. You can plug it back.
Did you get a second monitor? What?
I always had a second monitor.
Next to your fucking TV?
Now it's next to the TV.
Oh my god. You guys got a fucking 42-inch monitor.
43.
Oh, I'm
Compensating.
sorry. That extra inch makes all the difference.
Oh, you'd be surprised. You sound like fucking Beavis and Butthead.
How do I make these icons smaller? Holy shit.
Icons?
Go
see
to
the Bonnie.
the
Oh.
gear,
Oh.
audio and video.
Yeah, that was, thank you for reminding me. That was absolutely something I wanted to remind everyone of.
How do you do it again?
Oh,
Go
I
to
moved
the
Brian.
gear setting, then go to audio and video.
Okay.
Yep.
Then under video display, put the what is it?
Ah, I see. Names
Yeah.
only. That's what I'm gonna
Yep,
do.
names only. And then for both others can hear or see and I can hear or see, put none for both of those in the audio and video chat settings.
Where was? Oh, for others can hear and both of them.
Yeah, for both of them. Just slap them to none because we're using Discord and not Roll20.
Alright, tight dick, play it.
Yeah. And I don't think there's anything else that warrants like immediate fixing in Roll20 at least. At least I hope not.
Shit.
Yeah.
Oh, there
forget
we go.
the-
Yeah, I figured it out.
There.
Yeah.
Alright. Are we good?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Alright, let's see how this shit goes.
Not well.
Alright. Cavill, Bartholomew. You have
Yeah.
you have both walked in through the doors of the Yawning Portal. It's a special evening here. The noisy tap room seems even more full than usual, and patrons are brimming with excitement. A small crowd of well-wishers have gathered around the party of heroes who've chosen this night to brave the tavern's namesake. The small band of would-be heroes are carefully checking and securing their equipment, mundane and magical alike, as they begin their descent into the large hole in the middle of the tavern. The tap room fills with loud cheers and excited huzzas. And behind the bar, Durnan, the grizzled proprietor of the yawning portal, shakes his head and smirks under his mustache. Bartholomew, could I get you to introduce your character to everybody, please?
All right. I'm a humble little paladin that knows nothing about anything except how to swing my big sword. I decided to come here to understand what's been going on in my temple, among other things, as well as helping those in need.
Excellent. Cavil, could you give a brief introduction of your character, please?
Yeah. I'm Cowell. I am a knight. I came to this city from a very small village to work as a merchant, and I pretty much just look for adventure to keep things interesting.
Excellent. So as you two walk in through the yawning portal, again, I know 4 of you cannot see anything right now, assuming my settings are set up correctly. That is, that's intended. Only the 2 people I'm talking to here can see shit. But as the 2 of you walk in, first of all, you see a lot of notable people around. Other than what's literally on the map in front of you, this tavern is filled to the brim with people. You've got people sitting all along the well that's in the center of the room. Pretty much every bar stool is filled up right in front of Durnan. This tavern is, as the kids might say, hoppin'. There's a lot of people around, drinking, gambling, engaging in conversation, as well as some tables filled with some nastier looking individuals who seem to be quiet and kind of keeping to themselves. But as the 2 of you walk in, what do you want to do?
I think we should find a place to sit, get a beer.
Sure. As the 2 of you kind of look around and gaze across the room, you can see all the way at the back right of the tavern, there is one empty booth with nobody sitting in it at all, right where Cavil just went.
Oh, fuck.
Am I supposed to see something on the screen?
Yep. No, you cannot see anything. I know. I'm aware.
Okay.
We don't technically exist yet.
Technically, yeah. All right, so as the 2 of you take a seat at that booth, give me 1 second. Jeffrey
Oh shit.
and Rusty meander their way through those front doors. Rusty, could you please introduce yourself?
So I am Rusty Gearmouth. I'm a Warforged that was built in Mithril Hall, Dwarven settlement, and quickly surpassed my master, became a clan crafter for House Battlehammer, and have been sent out into the world to try to find new forging techniques. So I just look for any kind of knowledge for that, and that's why I'm here in Waterdeep.
Fantastic. And Jeffrey, if you wouldn't mind.
I may have forgotten to finish a bio and can't quite remember anything of my past.
Ooh, amnesia.
Yeah.
Well, who are you literally?
Jeffrey,
Hammer.
the lizard guy.
What do you look like, Jeffrey?
A lizard,
Okay.
standing up, kind of tall-ish.
Like
Okay.
the Geico commercial.
Yeah.
So as the 2 of you walk in through the front door of the yawning portal, again, you look around and you see a very excited tavern. There are a group of what look to be young kind of adventurers descending into that well in the center of the room through the winch and pulley system that you can see like at the 10 o'clock position on the well there. I need everybody who's currently in the yawning portal right now to roll an intelligence check for me.
Fuck.
I could just click.
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
intelligence saving throw or just?
Nope, just a normal intelligence
Oh,
check.
shit.
So
My
Tanner,
bad.
you rolled a save. That's not the check.
Wait, what?
How do I?
Oh,
Just go to
oh.
intelligence on the left corner.
Yep, click on the word intelligence on your character sheet.
What I did? I thought. Oh, saving.
Okay.
Yeah, no, you were in the saving throws little box. You want to be
Got
on
it.
the left
Got
side
it,
of that.
got it.
Perfect. Okay,
Same
so
damn number.
Passion?
the yawning portal is ironic. The yawning portal is an extremely well-known bar or tavern, not only in Waterdeep but in this continent. Ashton, you can recall that this well leads to what is kind of affectionately known as the Undermountain of Waterdeep, which is sort of like the city was built on top of the ruins and remnants of other cities from other long forgotten civilizations and societies. Adventurers often go down there to scrounge around for loot and for treasure and trinkets that have been lost to the centuries since Waterdeep was built. But it is you recall, Ashton, an extremely dangerous place to be. You don't go down there until you are well aware of exactly where you are going and what you're looking for, or you could meet your end. So with that out of the way, Jeffrey, Rusty, you walk into the tavern, the yawning portal here. What are you gonna do?
I
Shall we find
follow
us?
Rusty.
I lumber my way over to these seats to watch the adventurers.
Okay, so the seats are occupied right now, but you can absolutely kind of like take a position at the railing of the well and watch them make their slow descent in. Absolutely. Okay, so with that, we've got Crew and Ethel. Sorry to save you for last, but Crew, you should be able to see now. Ethel, you should be able to see now. So Ethel, would you mind, as you enter the big swinging wooden doors of the yawning portal, could you give a quick introduction of yourself?
Hello, I'm Ethel. I'm pretty new to adventuring. I'm not very experienced, but I have my heart in the right place, and I do want to try to help people. I'm currently employed under Obaya Ude, under the Emerald Enclave, as a druidic apprentice, and I've somehow found my way into the Yawning Portal Tavern with this cool dragonborn fellow.
And speaking of, Crew, could you give a brief introduction of your character, please?
I am Rue, a dragonborn monk with black blood who is on a fight to earn enough money to get his son a rare blood transfusion in order to survive.
All right. So as you two walk in, Ethel, you can see Obaya way across on the other end of the tavern, seated with a gentleman who Crew, I believe you recognize, Jalister? Am I right?
Bonnie.
Oh, you're Bonnie. Never mind. All right. Well, Obaya's seated with Jalister Silvermane, all the way at the booth on the other end. Otherwise, there's no real open seats. So if you want to find a place to stand, you can also stand next to the well, or take a seat next to Obaya. It's your choice.
I think I'm going to gravitate over to the well and observe the adventures going down with a really excited expression.
Okay. Crew, do you follow suit?
Yep.
Cool. All right, so the adventurers, one by one, slowly, methodically, meticulously, make their way down into the Undermountain. You can see them for 5 feet, 10 feet, 20 feet. But as they get 25, 30 feet down into the well, this dark shroud of an abyss obscures your vision of them, and they descend down into that abyss, right? The rest of the tavern inside, as the last one descends, most of the patrons kind of go back to their seats. They go back up to the bar to order a second round. They go back to their gambling and their games and kind of forget about the adventurers that had just gone down into the Undermountain. But as most people are kind of settling down, Ethel, Crew, Rusty, and Jeffrey, the four of you can hear and sense a bit of commotion coming off from your left. There's a group of 5 rugged, ragged-looking individuals where somebody just pinged, seated at a table. Now, 4 of them are sitting down, and they look to be playing cards of some kind. But one of them has stood up and is yelling at somebody else at another table. Now, Ethel, you can pick this up the best, but the one who's standing up looks pretty vicious. He looks like he's pretty pissed off. And you can overhear him saying things like, "So you like killing me mates, does ya?" And he's freaking out. He's throwing his arms up. And just at that moment, he takes his beer bottle and he smashes it against the table, pointing the pointy end of the beer bottle at what appears to be the woman who is seated alone, drinking alone at this table down here. So my question for the 4 of you down here who can overhear this, do you do anything?
I think I'm gonna back away a little bit, but
Would like to ignore the situation.
watch what's happening.
Okay.
I don't
So
wanna
light
die.
step
I'm
back.
really
I don't
nervous
want to
right
die
now.
on day 1.
So Durnan, the proprietor behind the bar, is kind of looking at this with a slight smirk on his face, and you see him look off to his left at the 5 raggedy looking people seated at that table together, and kind of give them a slight shake of his head, like he's almost warning them. And then he looks at Yagra, who's seated alone at that table, again, kind of drinking alone, and he gives her almost a slight nod. You watch as she gets up from that table, pushes the chair back a little bit. She rises to about 6.5 feet tall, and she looks down at this gentleman who's waving and flailing around this broken beer bottle, maybe 15, 20 feet away from her face. So there's still some distance between them, but she doesn't seem to be moving or doing anything. At that moment, the other 4 people seated at that table all get out of their chairs and kind of posture their way around, sort of making almost like a flank to the person who seems to be leading the way. And all 4 of them are facing the woman seated alone. At this point, Bartholomew and Cavil, you've caught wind of what's happening at the other end of the tavern. Most people in the Yawning Portal have, and people have kind of set down their drinks, put down their cards, and they're looking over and kind of watching this unfold. Do the 2 of you do anything here?
I go over and ask, what's happening.
Yeah, I'll go with them.
Who do you go over and ask that to?
The leader guy.
Yeah, Mr. Beer Bottle.
Mr. Beer Bottle? Okay. So what do you ask him?
What's going on? What's got you so riled up? I heard some commotion.
So he's in the middle of yelling something at this woman, and he stops dead in his tracks. He turns around. One of the other people, sort of on his flank, turn around to face you, and this gentleman is waving the. I'm calling him a gentleman isn't really accurate, but this dude who's waving around this beer bottle kind of looks at you and goes, "What's it to you? I wasn't talking to you."
Well, you were yelling. You're kind of getting everybody involved.
I'm not getting you involved. I'm getting this broad involved. She's been slaying my mates. So you need to back up.
I don't know where to go from here.
Do whatever you want, man.
I guess I ask Jaeger like what he means.
So you want to walk around the 5 of them and walk up to the woman seated alone?
Yeah.
All right. Well, as you try to do that, one of the guys seated at the table kind of steps up, puts his hand on your shoulder pads, says, just kind of shakes his head and goes, "Don't."
Please don't touch me.
He pulls his hand away, but he still gives you this look of, this is not for you.
So, like, do I have the freedom to go around these guys?
This guy doesn't seem like he wants you to go around them.
Okay.
So as you're having this interaction with that guy over there, Krentz is taking another step forward, moving up towards the woman seated alone. She moves up one step closer to the gentleman, again waving that broken beer bottle around, and she gives him one massive shove back, right? Just shoves him square in the chest, pushes him back about 5 feet. He trips over this one of the wooden chairs seated around a table, and he kind of looks distraught at that she'd be willing to go for the first blow. And so he lunges at her, goes for a wild haymaker, tries to clock her in the face. She steps off to the side, parries that blow, throws him a jab under his stomach. He doubles over in pain. He goes back for another Hail Mary, trying to swing at her face, and she takes him, using his weight against him, and brings him down to the ground. So Yagra, the woman seated alone, is on top of Krentz. At this point, the people who are seated at the bar top, have backed the fuck away from what is happening. The 4 here, this one here, is still watching you, Bartholomew, but the other 3 have moved up. They're not interfering with this fight that's breaking out, but they are keeping a close eye and watching their man kind of getting beaten bloodied. Now, neither of them are using any weapons. He broke the beer bottle, but dropped it quickly once the kerfuffle started. So they're going at it with a fist fight, and they're slinging each other. They're slinging shots each way. With the man on the ground, even if he's on the bottom position, he's still getting in some blows and throwing in some uppercuts into wherever he can, and some jabs when he's able to. But it is a full-blown fist fight breaking out between these two. All the other patrons in the bar have backed away. They've gone over to their tables. They've kind of backed up to the walls. But what are the 6 of you doing?
I'm
Go
kind
ahead
of-
and pull up a chair and watch this, because this is the kind of stuff I live for.
I'm gonna walk over to the bartender and ask if we should stop the fight.
I'm going with Rusty, but I'm just kind of watching and sitting.
So Durnan, he doesn't, like, he's watching the fight break out in his tavern and seems to be making absolutely no attempt at stopping it. And he kind of looks at you and goes, "You can stop it if you want to. I don't think she needs your help, though."
Yeah, Yagra
My
seems like
thoughts
she kind of
exactly.
got this, so I'm gonna help her, even though she's probably got it.
So, crew, what exactly are you doing? Because she is on top of him, beating his face bloody.
Let her do her. I'm just here in case the others try and do something.
Okay, so crew, you kind of move up and you're standing behind Yagra here and just eyeing down the other 3, and these 2 take a step forward, thinking that you're about to interfere in the otherwise by the books fight that's happening here. But they're just eyeing you. They've got to pace away. Again, Yagra's just throwing down jabs on the man on the ground.
Are you boy friendly?
Is he still conscious?
He's up. He's conscious. He's throwing in blows of his own, but his nose is probably. I mean, his nose looks pretty broken. Yagra's taken a few jabs to the cheeks, but she looks okay.
Upon on seeing my friend crew kind of like get into this stuff, I think I'm gonna cast Fog Cloud to help obscure everything just in case some form of cover is needed.
Okay, where do you cast that?
I cast that directly on Yagra and the dude she's literally beating to a pulp.
Okay.
And I'm gonna
So that's
step back a bit.
okay. Oh, okay. So right on Yagra, right on the two of them. Let's see. So that's 20 feet. So it would look like 5, 10, 15, 20. It would probably look a little something like this right here. Can y'all see that square I just drew?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I wasn't sure if I was on the right layer or not. This massive, right, almost emanating from Yagra, this cloud of fog kind of envelops the room and obscures all vision of it. Now, Crew and Rusty, you are inside this massive cloud of fog, and you cannot, if you extend your hands out, you basically cannot see your own hands in front of your face. You can't see the fight that's breaking out on the ground anymore, but you can definitely still hear it. They're still throwing punches. It sounds like some fists are connecting with the wooden floorboards. But your vision is heavily obscured at this point. And since an action was taken, I think I'm going to ask you guys to roll initiative.
God fucking damn it.
So, just for context, in case you haven't picked up on the clues here, make sure click on your token and then click initiative. Otherwise, it won't go to the turn tracker. For context here, I'm gonna kind of lend you guys a helping hand. This is very much a bar fight. This is a tavern brawl. Nobody is using any weapons at all. So I want to clear the air on that.
Okay.
Alright, Yagra, bandits. Let me get this guy in there. Okay. Yep, he shows up differently. Alright, so I've got Cavil, Rusty, Jeffrey, Crew, Bartholomew, Ethel. I am missing Tanner. No, never mind, I said Jeffrey. I'm missing one person.
Ooh.
Keep doing?
Alright, I'm going to say them again. Cavil, Rusty, Jeffrey, Crew, Bartholomew, and Ethel. Whose name did I not say?
You said everyone.
That's all 6 of us, Kyle. That's all 6
Why,
of us.
why am I still only counting 5? Am I dumb?
3.
Oh, okay. Sorry. My fault. That's my bad. I'm just an idiot. I can't count. And with that, these bandits actually, they rolled a fucking natural 20. So the bandits are up first. After seeing this massive cloud of fog emanate from the center of the room, let's just do movement here. This bandit over here is going to try to sidestep the fog, stay out of it, and run over to Ethel. This one's going to stay right by Bartholomew. This one's going to join him up there. This one's going to come up and meet Cavil. So I'm going to start with the one right down by Ethel here. Ethel, he is going to throw a jab at you. A good old right hook. Hang on, I got to move my shit
Is it
around.
a jab or is it a hook?
Yeah, those are
It's a hook. It's a hook. I'm going with what I said second.
Okay.
Does a 16 hit, Ethel?
Yep.
Okay, so that is, you are going to take you're going to take 2 bludgeoning damage as he connects his right hook like squarely across your furry little face there. Cavil, you're going to get a jab thrown in your direction. 14, does that hit? No? Okay, so he goes wild. He goes for a kind of a haymaker. You're easily able to just kind of sidestep it, and his fist goes right past your face. Bartholomew, you've got 2 coming your way. One's a 20 and one's a 2. I imagine the 20 is going to hit.
I thought there were 2 20s. Yeah, 20 hits.
20 hits. Okay, that is going to be another, what did I say before? Was it 2 bludgeoning damage? Yeah. That's going to be another 2 bludgeoning damage as one of those fists. You're able to kind of parry off one of them, but in your focus on one bandit, the other one gets a shot in.
How do I lower my health?
So if you just click on your token and click on the green circle that says 12, and then you could just type -2, and it'll do the math for you.
-12, like on my character sheet?
No, you just on your token.
On your token.
On the map itself. If you click your token, there's a red button, a green button, and a blue button that pop up. The blue button is your AC. The green button is your health, your HP.
Oh.
Looks like Ethel got
I
it.
might be blind. Still.
Oh, wait. Can we use non-attacking magic spells? Or is it just fists?
You can do whatever you want. I'm just telling you that everybody else is in a fist fight right now.
Okay.
Oh, there you go. You got it. Yep.
Yeah, I was
You got
clicking
it.
it. It just the options didn't pop up for some reason.
Okay. Crew, you are up. What do you want to do?
I think his food is here.
Oh,
His
yeah.
his food might be here. Let me just look. All right, so temporarily I'm going to skip his turn just to keep things moving. Jeffrey.
You could always just go back to him. When
Yeah, we'll go back to him because I don't think it's going to
we rolled
change
the
much.
Same number anyway, so.
So Jeffrey, go ahead. You can take your turn.
I will move over, and
Sorry, I'm back.
and I'm gonna give this guy a smack with the tail.
Okay. Wait, is that a special thing? I think. Okay. No, that's good.
Just a regular hit.
I was looking through your character sheet and I saw that you had. Oh, you have a jaws attack. You can bite people. That's what I was remembering.
I feel like
Okay.
that's a little
So you want to go for a.
brutal for
Yeah, maybe.
so.
Okay, go for a tail swipe. Just roll me Just roll me a straight d20, and then yeah, that's it. Just roll me a straight d20.
Oh, wait, okay, hold on. I think I did it right. Yeah.
So you go for the tail swipe, and it goes a little high. He's a little shorter of a dude, but he's able to duck under it, and kind of get right underneath where your tail swiped across. But mostly due to his good dexterity, and not so much to do with your bad aim, because you were on track for his face. Do you have anything else you want to do here?
Good.
Okay. Crew, you are up.
That's me.
That is you.
Okay. So I just got back. I kind of missed a little bit. I'm in the smoke.
You are in the fog.
Still beating this dude.
You can't even see the 2 people to your left. You can't even see, but you can hear
Right.
the woman beating up the dude. So you can step out of the fog, or you can get even closer to them by walking above them to try to help Yagra somehow, or help the guy on the ground.
I think Yoga's got it. I'm gonna help Ethel here.
Okay.
And
Got it, crew. Kick his ass.
So if you're gonna go and try to throw an unarmed strike at him, since you are a monk, you can do this a little differently from how everyone else is.
yeah, I'm kind of confused.
You've got the monk unarmed strike in your attacks and spellcasting that you can use to throw a strike in his direction.
Okay.
Okay, 21 is absolutely gonna hit as you kind of like open-handed palm the back of his head and just kind of give him a knock. Go ahead and roll damage on that.
It's just like a pissed off mom.
I don't know if something hits me. Is that the blue number?
If something hits you, that's the blue number. Yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Yes. So that guy is going to take 6 bludgeoning damage, again, as that open-handed palm knocks into the back of his head, rattling his brain around. As a monk, Aaron, you can go for a second attack at level 1 using your bonus action if you want.
Let's do it.
All right, you can throw another unarmed attack in his direction. A 21 is going to hit again. Go ahead and roll damage. That's another 6 damage. As you do, so you connect with that first blow. He looks discombobulated, straight Sherlock Holmes style. And he's kind of wavering around. And as he's like trying to regain his balance, you just go in for that elbow, knock the side of his head, and he hits the ground hard. And this dude is out. So that guy is knocked unconscious there.
Hell yeah, baby, I got
Crew,
this.
is that going to be your turn?
That's my turn.
All right, Rusty, you're up.
Okay, so do I have like, I know I can hear, but do I have like any kind of frame of reference for where people actually are?
So you can hear off to your right. You can hear the ground kerfuffle that's still happening and blows getting traded there. You could also hear directly behind you a loud thud hit the ground, but outside of that, you can't see anything, and you really have little frame of reference of where you're at, other than the kind of bar top that you're touching right in front of you.
Alright, with a hand on the bar top to guide me, I just run straight through the smoke.
Uh-huh. So that's 20 feet of movement there.
Go.
So you could get here or here, if you're trying to get to one of those.
I'm gonna go here
Okay.
and do an unarmed strike against this guy.
All right, straight damage roll, or straight d20, excuse me. Yeah, 14's gonna hit. So what is your strength modifier?
-1.
It's -1. Okay, so this guy takes, as you clock him again in the back of the head, he takes 1 point of bludgeoning damage. He looks a little more annoyed than hurt by it, and kind of gives you a like a grunt over his shoulder. But he seems excited to be a part of this brawl here. Rusty, is that going to be your turn?
That'll be my turn.
All right. It is Krentz's turn. So on the ground, he's gonna try to get out from underneath Yagra. So you'll have to give me a second to work a little bit of magic here, because now I'm doing 2 NPCs at once. Where the fuck did Krentz go? Do that. I guess he's just a normal bandit, so that works. So he's wiggling on the ground trying to get out from underneath Yagra, but she, again, just pins him to the ground, digging both of her hands into his shoulders, keeping him moving, keeping him still there, and he seems unable to do anything. It's now Yagra's turn. She's going to go in for, again, another wild shot at his face. But he's able to scoot his head over to the side. Her fist connects with the wooden floorboards, leaving a pretty sizable dent, like an impressive dent into the floor beneath them, but ultimately not connecting. Ethel, you are up.
Is there any chance I could, like, pick this fucking... What is he, a dwarf?
They're human. Almost all of them are on the shorter end of human, though.
Is there any way you could, like, grab him by the shoulders and drag him back a bit?
Who are you? Who are you trying to do that
dude
to?
that got knocked out.
Yeah, you can do that. So you can drag him wherever you want. It's just that your movement will be halved.
What do you plan on doing?
I'm gonna heal him. Okay, can I just, like, drag him back here a bit?
Sure. Yeah.
Like,
You were about to toss him down the pit.
I thought that was about to happen too. Oh my god. She's just getting rid of the bodies.
Everybody's just having a nice, bar fight.
Nice little bar fight. Now it's a homicide.
This owl is just killing people out here. Okay.
okay,
Very Al thing to do.
can I ask, would doing, like, cure wounds on him, like, bring him awake again, or is he still out?
No, if you cast Cure Wounds on him, it would bring him to consciousness.
Okay, then I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna drag him out of the fucking, like, fight.
Okay.
What did you think Cure Wounds was gonna do?
So
Just give him HP back.
So yeah, you drag him. You drag him back. You've kind of gotten him out of the fray. Do you want to? Is there anything you want to do? Use your action or your bonus action on, or
Which
just your
more
movement?
do I have?
You have 0 movement remaining.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you used
I'll
all
just
of it to drag
chill
him.
here. Okay, wait. I do have one question because Owlin have wings. Does the flight thing also count towards movement, or is that like a separate action?
I would. No, if you use 30 feet of movement, then that's your movement, right? So like
Okay.
you have 30 feet of like walking movement and 30 feet flying. You could like walk 15 feet and then fly 15 feet, but you can't.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? Okay. It's kind of like one combined pool.
Yeah. I'm gonna drag him back here and skip the rest of my turn.
Okay, Bartholomew, you are up and you are surrounded by 2 baddies. What you want to do?
I attempt to talk to them.
Okay, what do you say?
Just ask if they'd want to relax, talk for a little bit. Just, de-escalate the situation.
Be very Canadian.
Okay. They give you a once. They kind of look you up and down. Their fists are cocked. They're ready to throw a punch, and your words almost seem to diffuse them a little bit. Like they kind of lower their guard just a bit. But you'll have to wait till their turn to find out if that worked. Is that your whole turn? Because that was technically that's your bonus action that you use to like talk to people. So you do still have an action and movement.
I use Divine Sense on them. Can I do that? Or is that a bonus action?
Divine Sense, is that
That's
your
Strong, like I can register evil and shit. Assuming no, but I don't have any other thing I want to do.
Keep that open for a second. Let me give that a quick read. So this lets you sense any celestials, fiends, or undead within 60 feet of you. So, I mean, you could cast that and find out if there's any zombies here.
Okay, I don't think that's what.
Okay.
Yeah,
That could be kind of tight, though.
that'd be a whole other issue. When a
I feel like
fucking
there's gonna
zombie
be a lot of people
apocalypse.
coming out of that pit then.
Yeah, I end my turn.
Okay. Cavill, you are up.
About time. I'm ready to go. I'm gonna hit this guy.
Okay. Throw a punch. D20. A 5. So you go. You cock back. You throw everything you can into it, and he doesn't even have to move. He just stands there, and your fist just soars right by his ear, connecting with nothing. Not even a scrape.
It's a warm up.
It's a warm up shot.
It's very Prince Charming.
As your fist kind of goes past his face, his head turns like almost like that first Spider-Man movie, and he watches your fist go past and then follows it as it comes back to you. Cavill, is that going to be your turn?
Yeah.
Love the reference there.
All right. It is going to be the bandits' turn. Now, the 2 bandits that are closest to Bartholomew here are they look a little winded. They've had a few drinks from the boozing they've been doing at their table. But they look a little concerned for their friend who's still neck deep in that cloud of fog. And both of them are gonna kind of mutually agree to move away from Bartholomew and Rusty here, and move down towards Krentz, who's in the ground. Now, because they moved past Bartholomew and Rusty, both of you can use your reaction to take a attack of opportunity against them if you want. So Bartholomew, you've got first dibs. Do you want to take an attack of opportunity?
That'd be the most fucked up thing if I did that. No.
So no? Okay, Rusty, are you taking an attack of opportunity?
No, I'm gonna let him keep going.
Okay. So the one closest, right, this one right here, I'll ping them for you guys. This one is going to try to grab Yagra by the shoulders and rip her off the guy that's on the ground. And to do that, I need to do a little DM tomfuckery here. Wow, yeah. So, okay, so he grabs her by the shoulders, and seemingly out of nowhere, although it's tough for any of you to be able to see this, he is able to rip her off the guy on the ground and throw her back 5 feet. So he gets her off of the guy on the ground. He's now kind of free. But I think that is... Oh, there is one more bandit here. This bandit did not overhear the mutual arrangement with Bartholomew, so he's going to throw a fucking punch at Cavil after watching him whiff that one completely. Cavil, does a 20 hit you?
Yes.
Yeah, so you are going to take 2 bludgeoning damage from that blow to the side of the head. And that is going to end the bandit's turn. Crew, you are up.
Okay. Alright.
Good turn.
I'm gonna go back into the smoke here,
Okay.
alongside Yagra. Smoke is still there.
Yeah, fog is still there.
Okay. So I shout through the smoke and say, "Are we done with this?" To the
Okay.
bandits,
Sure.
see if they want to back off and stop.
Okay. Sounds good. Is that your whole turn?
Shit. Do I have to wait till their turn to see if they're done?
Uh-huh.
Shit.
Yeah, for this one you will.
Yeah, I guess. Fuck.
All right. Jeffrey.
Quick question: am I able to interact with people who aren't involved in the fight?
Sure. Who are you trying to interact with?
All right, I'm gonna move back to the bar, talk to my homie Durnan,
Okay.
ask him who Yagra is.
Okay.
Order another
So in the middle of this bar fight, you walk back up to the bar, take a seat at one of the stools, look at Durnan, and ask him who Yagra is, and he
he's
gives
no friend though.
he gives you a bemused kind of smirk, and he goes, Yagra, yeah, she's a fierce one, that one. I'll let her tell you all about her once this has winded down a little bit. I'm sure she'd be willing to talk to you.
Tight.
Cool. Is that your turn?
Yeah.
Alrighty.
All I wanted to do.
Rusty, you were up.
Well, I guess since this guy is still swinging,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go over to him and throw another punch.
All right, throw a d20. You got to beat a 12,
Alright.
or get a 12 or better, I should say.
Woo.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, you connect with the side of his head. What is your strength modifier?
-1.
Okay, so he's gonna take 1 point of bludgeoning damage in that blow, right to his side. Is that your turn, Rusty?
Yep.
Okay.
I laugh, but mine is the same.
So Krentz is up. Now he's just newly freed from under Yagra's grip, and he's gonna book it away. So he runs straight down towards the door. Let me see how far you can move. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So you can get down there. He's running straight for the door, which does mean, Jeffrey, he runs past you. If you want to take an attack of opportunity, you can.
Fuck yeah, let's clothesline this bitch with my tail loams.
All right. Roll a d20. 11.
Damn it.
So he's full tail sprinting, looking past him into the haze of smoke, leaving his mates behind, and a tail comes out of nowhere, but again it just goes right over him. You're just missing over the top of his head, and he's able to kind of skirt underneath it and run past you. Yagra is up, and she's going to get up off the ground, use half her movement for that, and take a step out of the fog to kind of survey her surroundings and see what the hell is happening since she got into the little fight with Krentz there. But that is going to be it for her turn. So Ethel, you are up.
I'm gonna break my concentration and move back right here.
Okay.
So fog cloud is gone.
Fog cloud is gone. Moving shouldn't break your concentration.
No, I'm purposefully breaking my concentration.
Oh, okay. All right. So yeah, the fog. If you're purposely breaking your concentration, the fog has dissipated. You can see the two baddies who kind of helped Krentz up. They're standing side by side, and Krentz is all the way down, almost by that front door. Ethel, is that going to be your turn?
Yeah.
Cool. Bartholomew.
walk up here and spectate.
Just looking out.
Yeah, just looking.
Okay. Cavill, you're up.
Alright, we're gonna try this again. You know, I'm warmed up. I'm ready to
Fuck yeah.
my man.
Roll a d20, get a 12 or better. And so
Biggest robot in the world, and Sir missed a lot.
in the chaos that is ensuing in this bar, you get the idea that you can use the table behind you as like a foothold to get extra power for your punch, but it's not secured to the ground. So as you go to launch off the kind of the rest of the table just scoots back and you do the splits on the ground, and it kind of hurts pretty bad actually. But you didn't even get that fucking punch thrown.
You're like that knight who's only a knight because he's rich.
Jim and I were talking about Zach Brannigan.
Cavill,
Yeah, it's my turn.
okay. So the bandits are back up. And now the two bandits who helped Krunts get up off the ground, they are also going to follow suit. So Bartholomew, if you want, you can take an attack of opportunity as they leave your reach. Do you want to?
Pardon?
Do you want to take an attack of opportunity as they
No.
run away? No? Okay. Jeffrey, you are also going to get the same question as they run past you. You can get an attack of opportunity against this one here. Do you want to?
I'm going for the clothesline again.
Okay, go for it.
Because why not? I think it'd be funny.
Yeah, that's going to connect. Your strength modifier is...
-1.
Yep, -1. So he's going to take 1 bludgeoning damage, but as your tail tail, right?
Yeah.
Cool. So as your tail connects with his midsection, with his torso, you just hear this loud thunk, and as he kind of like doubles over in pain a little bit, not really expecting that from the guy casually talking to the barkeeper. But yeah, he's able to keep running past you.
Wanted to mess with him. You know.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. So, oh, there's this one too. The one up north is going to notice all of his buddies trying to leave the yawning portal, and he's going to run past. So he's going to run this route, right? So he runs down and around, skirting around everyone he can, which means all 4 of you can take an attack of opportunity against that one if you want. And Cavill, you're going to be first up if you want to.
Yep.
Go for
Might
it.
as well, right? Here's my time to shine. D20.
D20. Yeah, 19 hits. Roll. That would be a. Oh, you've got a strength modifier of 3. So this one's gonna take 4 bludgeoning damage as he turns away from you, and you're able to clock him in the side. Rusty, are you taking a shot at him?
Oh yeah.
Roll it. 7's not gonna hit. So it's not entirely your fault, because Cavill gets a good shot on him, and that changes how he's standing, and because of that, he doubles over a little bit, and your fist goes right over his head. But watching this go down, Crew, do you want to take an attack of opportunity?
Fuck it.
Roll a d20. 22 hits. So that is gonna be 3 bludgeoning damage as you watch Rusty miss his. You do not make the same mistake, and you go low and you just clock him in the thigh as hard as you can. And this guy's looking pretty... Yeah, oh yeah, just straight down punch right into his thigh. It's a little awkward looking, but you get it off, and he looks hurt from it.
Wait, I rolled the monk
Emotionally?
unarmed strike. Was I supposed to just do a regular D20?
Oh no, you're right. Sorry, roll damage on that. My fault. I'm probably gonna forget that.
I didn't know if I could do that or not.
No, you're right. So okay, he's gonna take 1 more damage than he would have. This guy's looking pretty rough. But they all look to be leaving and fleeing in a hurry. Now.
Wait, doesn't Bartholomew get one?
I mean, I can ask, but I have a feeling I know the answer.
I give him a solid pat on the back.
Okay. Go, champ.
Go, buddy.
I think he's getting hit again. He stumbles and falls.
Fucking thighs.
Okay. So, I guess, do you want to take the attack, or he is looking pretty rough after he gets past the other 3?
No, I don't think I want to kill him.
Okay. So these bandits, Now that you've all kind of gotten up close and personal and you've seen them face to face, the leader who was in that initial fight with the woman who was seated alone, that guy who's closest to the door right now, his face is pretty heavily tatted up. Now, he's wearing almost entirely black tunics. He's got a nice looking satchel on his waist. He looks pretty adorned, but his face is covered in these tattoos that seem to resemble what look to be like snakes kind of slithering across his cheek onto the back of his neck. And all of the snakes that are depicted on his face are all winged. They have wings, right? So they're winged snakes that are curling around his head. The other three, including the one who's, I guess 4, with the one who's unconscious on the ground, all share similar tattoos around their neck that look to be, again, snakes with wings that are kind of flying around their body. But only the who you can presume to be the leader is fully tatted up and kind of covered from the top of his crown to his neck in tattoos. Now, these 4 are in a mad dash to get out and get away. And as that happens, I need everybody to roll a perception check.
Oh yeah. Where's that?
Just a straight perception check.
Where's that?
On your character sheet.
Is
in
that
the skills section?
Skills? Okay.
Yeah, it should be in the skills. Okay, 3, 9, 4, 12, 4.
I'm very perceptive.
Okay.
You get to
Um,
sit that-
Okay, I've never had to do
Tanner,
this.
you
I've never had to do
rolled
this before. Tanner,
I don't know how.
Oh my god.
I've got a freaking 3.
Okay. So these 4 bandits seem to be booking it. They are leaving the tavern. And Tanner, I've never had to do this before, but I sent you a whisper because you were the only one who can tell
I see
something.
That, and I'm
Okay.
not sure what to make of it.
Yeah. So yeah, these 4 are in a mad dash. They're getting out. At this point, if everyone can mutually agree that you're not gonna go for another shot, we can end the combat with these guys because they are leaving.
I'm good with ending.
Yeah.
I'm good. I got my shot in.
Yeah. Any naysayers?
Finally.
All right. So these 4 are going to book it on out of there. The leader, Krentz, is the first one to get out. The 2 who helped him up are the next 2. Now this one, who 3 of you landed shots on, is going to get close to the gentleman who's sitting, kind of standing, taking cover behind the bar table nearest the front door. And he looks back over his shoulder because he seems to sense something. Tanner, that whisper that I sent you, you can tell that it's coming from the middle of the room, from the well.
Oh.
You have a chance to do something before anything happens. Is there anything that you want to do with the knowledge that you have?
I don't know.
So is that a no?
I stay put. Fuck it.
Stay put and do nothing. Okay.
Yeah.
The
It's not that threatening.
The bandit who got closest to the door is looking towards the center of the room. And by the way, we are out of combat. Y'all can move freely at this point. The bandit is looking towards the center of the room. He spits out a little blood, looks towards Bartholomew, Crew, and Rusty, gives y'all a little, like, almost knowing nod of, like, that was a good fight. Like, y'all put it up. That was pretty solid, right? And then looks...
GG'd us?
He GG'd you. And then he looks at you guys and goes, I would back away from the well if I was yous.
Damn it,
And-
that's what I was just gonna say.
And he is gonna leave out through that front door. Do y'all move?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I thought
backed
I'm
up
gonna
to the
step
bar.
back.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm going right here. Yeah.
You're hopping the bar?
Well, no, I walked through. It's crazy.
So I mean, if you're gonna hop the bar, Durnan looks over at you and he's cleaning out a glass right now. Again, seemingly like unfazed entirely by this bar fight that just went down in his establishment. And he looks at you and goes,
Okay, fine.
Again, looks over to his right and goes, same deal.
Well, I think he's my homie though.
This is my restaurant, though. You don't work here. All right. With that, there are, and I tried to get some like icons for this, and I just couldn't find any. But there are people like who are gathering and watching this tavern fight, and they're like all around the well right now, just random little patrons and civilians and people who are here and drinking. As they watch the bandits run out through the front door, they give cheers and they start throwing bottles in their direction. People are patting up Yagra on the back and kind of slapping her on the shoulders. But as they're all kind of in the midst of celebrating, out of absolutely nowhere, a colossal hand reaches up from the well, grabs a woman around the waist, and just yanks her down into the well. She gets this massive whiplash. She almost looks like a rag doll getting thrown around, but she gets pulled into the well. She's gone. A moment later, as everybody starts backing away from the well, another hand comes up and grabs onto the sides of this well and pulls itself up. And you can see pulling itself up from the depths of this massive well in the middle of this establishment is what appears to be, let's see, it is right here, what appears to be a troll. Now this troll it has gashes and missing chunks of flesh. It looks bloodied, it looks bruised, and hanging out of his mouth is what you can gather to be, or what appears to be, an arm of one of the adventurers who had gone down into the well as y'all were walking into the establishment. It spits the bloodied arm out, and it's only when it does that you notice all over its body are these like rabid-looking bats that are clinging onto it and draining blood from the troll. Most of them are pretty bloated, almost like a mosquito that's been latched on for too long, and they fall off the troll and fall back into the well and fly down. But there are 3 who detach and float along it, right up here. There we go.
Okay.
Jesus, that was brutal.
Yeah. So most of these flying bat creatures have fallen back into the well. These 3 detach, they circle around, and they look like they're pretty hungry, and they're wanting non-troll blood. It's at this moment that Durnan and Cavil Crew, Jeffrey, you can hear this because you're close enough, but he almost gives this like this sigh of frustration that this is happening today, and he was kind of hoping for a more quiet night. He reaches underneath the bar table and pulls out this great sword that looks a fair bit taller than he is. It's glowing with this radiant energy that seems to be emanating from it. It could almost be used as a torch if the tavern were darker. He hops over the bar and in one swift motion carves once across his chest, carves a second time across his chest, and follows it up with a third kick to the stomach, which is gonna deal, if I find out how much damage that dealt. Yep. So that's gonna deal 12 slashing damage to this troll. Nice and clean, carving 2 big gashes in across its midsection. After he throws those shots out, sorry, Roll20's lagging on me super hard. I'll have to adjust that later. He looks back at all of the people who are lined up along the bar right now and goes, "I'll handle the troll. You handle the sturges." And at that, I need you guys to roll initiative one more time.
Damn it.
Once I load up the turn tracker. Hang on, wait, before you do, let me remove turns. Alright, now you can roll. Get that out there. Get that out there.
I got it too.
Quality rolls all around.
Let's go, baby.
Are they looking rough?
Oh, fuck.
Aaron, what is with you and rolling in the 20s?
I'm fucking correct, I think.
Monks are pretty good at getting to go first. That's
He's
kind
got
of.
He's got a loaded die.
Hang on, give me 1 second.
Roll 20?
I'm trying to refresh roll 20 here.
You're good.
He went into the fucking JavaScript. Changed that shit around.
Ian, are you watching my stream? Do I need to leave it up for you?
I'm watching, yeah.
Okay, I was just curious.
By curious?
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. Aaron, you rolled, but you didn't click your token, so you should have gotten an error message in chat.
I did not.
I can add you in.
Oh, maybe do this?
Wait, Aaron, what's your name's Crew, right?
Crew, yeah.
Yeah, but so I see the 21 in chat, but it came up as an. Yeah, see now it came up. I'm just gonna.
He just rolled again.
Yeah, I'm gonna plug in your 21 from earlier. Just make sure you click that token before. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, we are all here. Crew, you are gonna be first up.
We're attacking the bats, right?
That's what Durnan yelled
That's
back
what
at you.
Durnan said, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. I was just.
As a matter of fact,
started, I
I'm
wasn't
actually
sure.
moving this a little bit.
Oh, it's my turn?
Yep, you're gonna be first
Yeah,
up.
that too.
I didn't realize it. How far? I can move there, right? Alright, I go here.
Mhm.
I attack this first bat.
Okay.
I do.
Are you doing unarmed strike?
Yep.
Yep, 22 is easily gonna hit for 5 bludgeoning damage. So this bat looking thing, it's looking. I mean, it already looks kind of bloodied, and it looks slightly on the more bloated side. But it detaches off the troll. It flies in your direction, and you just slap it out of the air, easily connecting with it, and it plummets to the ground and is dead.
I use my second one on another one.
You absolutely can.
Then I will do that on this dude.
Okay. An 8 is not gonna connect. So you throw a punch at this one, but it's nimble. It's pretty tiny, and it kind of maneuvers around your range, but it's able to fly around your fist. Is that gonna be it? All right, Bartholomew.
So I take a swing at it.
Take a swing.
Do I just click my hand axe?
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. You can just click right on the hand axe. So you pull. Are you wielding right now your hand axe and your shield? By the way.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Just good to know. So you've got the hand axe. You go for a lofty swing, and you just barely clip its wing, but it seems to maneuver around your swing. You connected with it, but it didn't seem to do any lasting damage there.
Alright.
Is that going to be it?
Yeah.
Alrighty, Jeffrey.
All right. We're about to have some flashbacks of our one-shot thing, because I am going to attack this jabroni with my light crossbow. Yeah, that's there. That's a
Okay.
thing.
So you've pulled out your light crossbow. Go ahead and take a shot.
Do I just click on it?
Yep.
Okay.
I was about to ask if we have any ranged attackers.
Well,
That's gonna hit.
yeah, that. So you sling a bolt out across the tavern. It sails across the table. It connects with a bottle as it flies through the air, and the bottle shatters, but the arrow still sinks into the bat. Go ahead and roll damage. Click on the words "light crossbow" in the chat, not in your character sheet.
In the chat. Okay.
Yep. 5 that's all good. 5 piercing damage. So yeah, that bolt just sinks right into its skull, and it sends it flying out into the well, and it is gone. That thing is donezo.
Yeah.
Is that gonna be your turn, Jeff?
I'm gonna move a little closer over here.
towards the troll?
Yes.
Okay. It is the troll's turn. The troll, after having taken those slashes from Durnan, is going to go and try to take a bite at him. Rolling a 20, that is going to hit. So it first sinks its teeth into Durnan, right into his shoulder, and while he's got him kind of contained, he's going to take a claw attack as well, which is also going to connect for 14 slashing damage right across the back of Durnan. Now, Durnan, for the record, looks kind of he looks older. I'm talking while I do math here. He looks older, but he doesn't seem phased at all by the fact that he just took that troll slash across his back. You can clearly see the ripped tunics and the blood kind of seeping out of his back, but he's still standing and doing just a-okay.
Why he's the best bartender around.
Rusty, it's going to be you.
Oh shit, wrong thing. I'm gonna move here, get a little line of sight, and then bring out my crossbow.
Okay.
Gonna copy me, huh?
17 hits. Roll damage. Sorry, who are you shooting at? Is it the Sturge?
Yeah, the Sturge.
Okay. And for 3 damage, your bolt sinks right into its wing, sending it, again, careening down into that cavern. It gives a little whelp as it flies down. So all of the Sturges are out, which, Ethel, you are up.
Hey, I am gonna move my way safely behind Durnan over here.
Uh-huh.
And I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds on him.
On him? Okay. Go ahead and throw it out.
After seeing that nasty slash.
Fantastic. So he restores 8 health, thanks to your Cure Wounds. Is that that kind of energy radiates out from your what do you call owl hands?
Pussy.
They're not
Claws.
what? Claws, I guess, yeah.
Have a
Talons. That's the word. Thank you, Tanner. Talons. So you connect your talons onto his back, and you just give him this reassuring warmth of energy that radiates into him. And
Using the word talon for that doesn't make it sound good.
I guess not. It's not. You're not sinking the talons in. You're touching him with the talons.
Sounds kind of.
Let's continue.
Who was
Rubbing him erotically with your talent.
Aaron? You were the first one up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you are. Okay, so Cavill, it is your turn.
Okay. I'm gonna run across the room here, hop up on the table, and I'm gonna swing at the troll.
Okay, swing away. A 20's gonna hit. Roll damage. So you dash across that tavern with your short sword in hand, and you go for a plunging thrust right into its stomach, connecting for 5 damage. Your sword sinks a couple of inches into its gut, and as you pull the sword out, this ooze and this bile come with it, and this kind of like black greenish sludge just like pours out of his stomach cavity. Cavill, is that going to be your turn?
Actually, so really quick, I don't know how to use this, but I have that. Does that just apply because I just have this short sword in hand?
Let me see if that's already calculating.
Yeah, I don't know.
It doesn't look like it is. +3 strength equals 2 + 3. So while you are wielding a melee weapon in one hand and no other weapons. Well, let me take a look real quick at your character sheet, because you might actually be wielding another weapon. You've got a short sword. Is the hammer a weapon? It is not.
That is a tool.
I wasn't sure what it was classified as here.
You're a tool.
Yeah, okay. I don't know why Roll20 isn't automatically calculating it, because everything looks like it's set up right on your end. So yeah, we'll just add 2 damage to that then.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go. Total
And
is
that
7
would-
damage.
That would be my turn then.
Cool. So next up is gonna be Durnan here, and he's gonna go again for another Grim Vault slash, or actually a multi-attack. So he again rears back that great sword, and on this one he gets to make 4. 1, 2. All right, so he draws his sword back, and with two massive slashes, is able to carve chunks out of this troll. Out of the 4 that he threw out, only 2 actually connect. Why won't you let me roll damage, game? All right, whatever. I'll just do this manually. 2d6 plus 4, so 4d6 plus 8. Yeah. Okay, so he rears back, throws out those 2 slashes, carves massive chunks into him. And as he connects with that second one, he misses the follow-up. He misses the follow-up after that, but the troll is looking woozy. It's barely standing up. He gets a bit of a running start with how little movement he has. He's not able to get as much distance as he can, but he kind of takes one big leap, a second big leap, plants one foot on the thigh of the troll, plants a second foot on its waist, and then leaps into the air, almost reaching as tall as the troll is, plunging the great sword into its shoulder blade, knocking it out unconscious. And that troll has been dispatched here.
Yay.
Yay.
We did the thing.
You did the thing. Give me 1 second here while I figure this shit out. Okay, so the tavern, most of the patrons, a lot of them have left at this point. They've kind of sprinted out because wanting absolutely nothing to do with the troll. Although a little entertained by the tavern fight that was going down. The ones who are still inside, though, now are ringing out this kind of round of applause to Durnan and to the 6 of you for dealing with this threat. And they slowly kind of carefully take their seats again, as a couple of them come up and they grab that troll by the shoulders and start dragging it out of the tavern into the streets outside, grabbing the sturge that didn't fall into the well, taking it into the streets outside, and kind of clearing it out of there. Somebody else comes in, grabs that bandit and takes him out into a back room, perhaps to heal him or to hold him there until the city watch shows up. But either way, they drag him away. And now it is just left with you lot and with Durnan. He takes his great sword, cleans off the blade a little bit, sheathes it, and looks back at you lot and just says to you guys, "I appreciate the help back there. It's much appreciated, much needed. Thank you for stepping up and doing your duty."
The hell was those guys' problem anyway?
Which guys? The bandits that were with Krentz back there?
Yeah.
They're nothing but trouble. Yagra, you want to come over and talk these fellas through what's been going down over here? And Yagra takes a few steps forward, and she kind of comes into the center of your group, apparently standing on a table, but we'll just ignore that. And she looks at you lot and says, "You know, I'd rather you not have intervened in our fight back there, but I must say I do appreciate your watchfulness and your help. It's much appreciated. Come, let's take a seat." And she starts walking back over to these booths up at the northern end, at the northeastern end of the tavern, and she slides into one of the booths and is kind of beckoning for all of you to join her. So, if you do.
Yeah.
I just sort of follow behind slowly with a little curiosity.
And Cavill has fallen to his death. Okay, so 2 things happen. One, Durnan, as y'all are getting seated, Durnan comes over and offers all of you a free round. So y'all have whatever drink you want, it's in front of you. And after he kind of doles out your drinks of choice, he meanders slowly back over to his bar. He puts his great sword away, and he gets back to work and tries to calm the atmosphere of the tavern. The other thing that happens.
Get everybody out of the tavern right now.
A lot of them have left, but there's still some of the braver ones have stuck around and have sensed an opportunity for maybe cheaper drinks if they stuck around, hiding underneath tables and besides chairs, but they've since resumed back to their tables. But the other thing that happens is Obaya comes up to your table, and gives you thanks for, again, kind of helping out with the threat there, and waves her hands around wordlessly, muttering something under her breath, and all of you who have been hurt can feel this sense of warmth emanating from your chest. Everybody who's damaged has just healed back to full. So she's going to quietly give you that, and then meander right back over to where she was sitting. So anyone who took any damage, feel free to plug back in your full HP value, and you are refreshed.
So she healed us by giving us all panic attacks?
in a way, yeah, in a way. All right, so y'all are seated with Yagra, and she's scooted all the way to the end of the what do you call it, the bench, and she just kind of looks up from her drink and goes, "All right, y'all have questions? I overheard you. What do you want to know?"
Does that happen often here?
Here? The Yawning Portal? No. Matter of fact, this is, I mean, it's usually a pretty rambunctious bar, but it's usually, rambunctious in a good way, in a fun way. Nothing like that. I didn't know they'd be here. If I knew that, I wouldn't have come.
They seem to have a problem with you.
They got a problem with everyone. She pulls up her sleeve to show you a tattoo that's running down her right arm that looks similar to the tattoos that you saw on them, but this is a snake that is drawn tattooed on very straight and narrow, and it doesn't have those wings that the other ones had, and it's just kind of running up her forearm. And she goes, "Well, I don't know how much time you have, but to understand what happened back there, I mean, y'all are going to need a history lesson or something, because there's a lot going on here." And so she recounts, she's a member of what's called the Zentarim. And she, alongside a few of her other friends, 4 or 5 other party members, formed a faction in Waterdeep years ago that they named themselves affectionately the Zentarim. And they took jobs where they would go and they would raid these abandoned lich layers for specific essences and minerals that can only be found in that kind of environment. And so while they called themselves the Zentarim, they were later known by others almost affectionately as the Doom Raiders. But they were a party of 5 or 6 adventurers, much like kind of many of you individually, who made their living, again, raiding lich layers. And she tells you about their business and that it was doing well and they were making a lot of money when a few members of their faction broke off and formed their own Zentarim with their own rules and their own kind of way of living and their own vehicles for making money. And there's been a very massive split in ideology between the 2 Zentarim factions. But she kind of looks you over after kind of recounting all of this and telling you about the history of this and says, if you're ever in doubt, if there's wings, they're the other Zentarim. No wings, they're with me. And when they're with me, you eat and drink for free. She kind of looks around and gives you all a little nod.
Thank you.
I do not require sustenance.
I could eat.
Yeah, she looks at she looks at Rusty and goes, "Oh, yeah, I guess you got a point there. What? Tell me, do you eat anything?"
It is not necessary. I can taste, but I have no need for food or drink.
You can taste. Do you taste often? What's your favorite taste? And she takes a big swig of her ale.
I think for a second. Well, I don't get the opportunity to taste much. But limestone is very pleasant.
Limestone. Interesting. I've spoken with other Warforged before. They tend to say the same thing. Limestone. One of them said asphalt, which really took me by surprise. especially considering you can't find asphalt outside of Waterdeep. Anyway.
Need ass.
Anyway.
I don't believe I have tried asphalt.
I mean, if the others' words are anything to go by, you should try it. It seems pleasant. I don't think it'd be up my taste. Anyway, thank you, lot, again. I appreciate your help, even if it wasn't needed. But I must be on my way. She kind of scoots past you and slides out and makes her way out of the yawning portal.
She scoot past me like that. She was huge.
So, yeah, she is a half-orc. She's pretty large, pretty muscular, but dexterous, man. She's dexterous.
Put her butt in your face.
That half orc ass, baby.
Jeff liked it.
I'm gonna move these fellas down here. So as she walks out, approaching your table where all of you were seated together, is this stout, very stout, very short man with this floppy hat that jiggles and bounces as he walks through the tavern. But his most notable characteristic, he has mustache for days. This man's mustache is growing another mustache. It's just curling and extending deep out from both sides of his face. And he walks up with a flagon of ale in his hand, says, "Ah, y'all look like a couple of ripe adventurers. Tell me, you up for a job?"
Sure.
Absolutely.
I don't know. I mean, I just met these guys.
Shut the fuck up.
Alright.
How much does this pay?
Oh, I'll tell you all about it. Scoot, scoot. And he tries to like kind of finagle his way into one of the seats as best he can, and it's a pretty tight fit. It's really uncomfortable at this booth here. Like, there's just way too many people crowded into it.
I'd
So
imagine
the half orc could fit okay with this short man.
It was uncomfortable before too. It was
I'd imagine-
uncomfortable before.
Imagine we're just hanging over the other side of the booth.
Yeah, you've got like a solid half a butt cheek hanging off the edge. You know, it's like one of those.
Hell yeah.
Rusty wants a taste.
So he scoots in and he goes, "I might as well introduce myself. Name's Volo. It's a pleasure to meet y'all. Y'all might have heard of me. As a matter of fact, some of you have heard of Volo. I'll leave it up to you if you've heard of this guy before, based on whether or not your character would be a reader or not. Like, if your character has read books, you've heard of Volo. He's a pretty widely renowned author all across Faerun. He writes books on the monsters and the denizens within. He writes about the cities, the histories of the cities and the cultures. And he's a pretty widely respected author as far as things go. But he kind of looks around the room, or looks around the group and goes, "Well, that's my name. I didn't get any names from y'all."
My name's Ethel. I'm a huge fan of yours.
Ethel, I appreciate it. Thank you for buying my material, sir. It's much appreciated.
Anytime.
Yes.
Your work is outstanding.
Oh, thank you. Matter of fact, I might be able to use your help on the next book I'm writing. I'll tell you about it later, though. And he kind of looks over to the next person. He looks over at Bartholomew expectantly.
I'm Bartholomew Fontaine, and you seem to be quite a stir here, but I have absolutely no idea who you are.
Oh, it's all right. No offense taken. Not everyone's a reader, you know. And he again takes a big swig of his ale. Looks over at Jeffrey.
Yes.
He's just looking at you, waiting.
Hello.
Hello. And you are?
Jeff. My name's Jeff.
Jeff. I don't think I've ever actually met a lizard folk before. Must say it's quite an honor to be in your presence.
Now Jeff is the one who's honored, I guess.
No need to blush, Jeff. No need to blush. It's okay, just a compliment. Anyway, he looks over at Rusty.
I extend a hand out. I'm like, Rusty Gearmouth, sir. We had copies of all of your works in Mithril Hall.
Oh, you had copies of all of them. Tell me, which one was your favorite?
Personally,
I totally asked you that because I'm a dick, because I know you don't know his books. He wrote the Monster Manual, he wrote the Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide, he wrote Spelunking in Waterdeep, he's working on some books on other spirits inspectors, but they haven't been published yet.
Splunking in Waterdeep.
Oh, it was a wonderful book to write. Tell me, is that the book that brought you to Waterdeep?
A bit, I suppose.
Fascinating. Well,
Really,
hopefully... Oh?
I'm just looking for more crafting knowledge. But I
Ah.
thought I could find good raw materials.
Well, unfortunately, my book's not going to be of much use in crafting and foraging, but hopefully it comes of use to you in navigating the city and finding your way around. And then he looks back over, he looks at Crew and Cavill.
Well, hello there.
My name's Crew.
Crew, it's a pleasure.
No, the pleasure's all mine, sir.
Excellent, excellent.
I've heard wondrous stories about you, but I have not read them myself.
Well, on that note, y'all know me, I know you, we're no longer strangers. Let's drink, let's talk business.
Already am.
I've got a job that needs a inquisitive mind. Y'all, the way that you dispatch those Sturges back there, the way that you dispatch those bandits, and that you helped Yager out, and Yager's a good friend of mine, so I much appreciate that. I think that you folks might be just the right sort for this job. Now, frankly, I'd go to my other trusted individuals, but if I'm being honest, this job's a little beneath them. I need someone fresh to the city. I need someone who's not as well acquainted, and you folks seem to be just the right fit. As long as you're willing to work together.
Sure.
He kind of like just
Yeah,
waits
I
and
guess
looks
we
around.
could do that.
Okay.
Ethel doesn't say anything.
What if
he
we all just said
absolutely-
no, end campaign?
Then the campaign's over, and yeah, it would end here.
We win.
It depends on how you define win. All right, then let's talk business. And at that, it's 9:30 right now. If we want to take a quick break, we can. This would be a perfect time to do that. But it's up to you guys. If you want to take a break, bathroom, get a snack. We'll say like 5-6 minutes.
Yeah.
Cool.
How long are we playing until?
That's the halfway mark. So another 90 minutes from here. Well, my time 11 o'clock.
Swear to fucking God, it's like 1 billion degrees in my room.
It's fucking hot in my room too, and I don't know why.
I'm straight up just I took my fucking shirt off. Like I'm just
Little shirtless D&D, huh?
Getting into the control of your character there, Pootie.
Okay, so for the record, I don't know how many people are here. We have now made it to page 2.
Yeah, shut up.
So,
This campaign is literally going to be 3 years long.
it could last a while. It definitely could.
We'll pick up the pace as we get.
Oh yeah, no, it'll get smoother and smoother. Although honestly, I think y'all have been handling it pretty well so far. Been moving pretty quick. Dude, Tanner, I might get 20 inches of snow tomorrow.
What?
Oh shit.
In
Yeah.
North Carolina.
Straight up, a week ago, my school sent us an email a week ago and said it is very likely we'll have a snow day next Tuesday. So prepare, bring your materials home, bring your laptop home. We're gonna call it a remote day.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
it
interesting.
it might get
and
bad.
Getting that kind of snow out there, though, like over here, that's not a huge deal. The plows will
Be
be
like,
able
alright,
to
wake up
handle it.
extra early to clear off your car.
Right.
But like, and yeah, over in North Carolina though, 20 inches. That's gonna. I mean, shit. The whole fucking state's gonna be shut down.
Oh yeah.
You better, you better make sure you have like some food too.
Oh, I did. I did my grocery shopping today.
You're not going anywhere because they don't have fucking snowplows.
Trust me, dude. I went to do you know Wegmans? Do you have any Wegmans near you?
No, Kyle, you know what's near me.
I can't. I don't know if because I first.
Literally from here.
I know, but I first heard of Wegmans when I came down here, and I've since learned that it's a national chain. I just couldn't remember ever seeing one in
I've never heard
Chicago.
of it. I've
Okay.
never heard of it.
It fucking
I've seen a commercial for it before.
I really don't think there's any in Chicago.
it's like my favorite grocery store ever. It's amazing. I went there earlier today and dropped like $250 on groceries because I'm like, I feel like I might lose power and be snowed in for a while. So I'd just like,
You might not lose power.
well,
I don't know.
half of Virginia lost power for a week.
God, dude.
2 weeks ago.
The Southeast is just so
Yeah.
unprepared for snow.
Yeah, my parents were running off a generator. They had no heat for a week.
My God.
Yeah, it was bad out there, and this snowstorm's gonna hit them again too.
Wow.
Fill up your bathtub with water in case your pipes freeze.
Yep, I'm doing that.
You got a Brita? You got a Brita?
I do. Yep, it is
Yeah,
filled. Yeah, I've got the like gargantuan tank Brita filter thing.
Yeah. Nice.
I've got that filled up already.
Say, like Egan said,
Yeah, no.
If you do that, then you can just keep pouring it into the Brita and it's all good.
Yep. Yeah, I'm set up. I'm good.
Although I don't think
Get rid of this shit.
like that's more of a especially you live in an apartment complex. It's very rare for that to happen because everybody's got their heater on at that point, and like.
It has happened here.
So,
As long as you're keeping,
there's
as
a
long as
very
you're
real
keeping.
possibility if the building's not equipped for it.
Yeah, and our building
That's
is
true,
barely
but
equipped for it.
I don't know. I feel like everybody should be having their climate control set properly. You know, as in like above 60 degrees.
Yeah, but like some places, like they just like
Well, it
that's
also
never been a
depends on the-
thing. So
it
like
also
they don't
depends
plan
on
for freak weather shit like that.
Mhm.
So
True, but it also depends on like where the pipes are. You know, are they what kind of walls are they running through? Are they going like on the outside of the building and then coming into each apartment? Probably not.
Yeah,
If
I
it's all
don't
running
think so.
if it's all running through the interior of the building, which is very normal, like 90% of buildings,
Mhm.
then there shouldn't be any issues.
I
If
don't know.
everybody, if majority of the apartments have their, climate at 60 or above, it doesn't even have to be 60, like just not freezing.
I don't know. Like it's a totally different beast up here, but we still get it all the time with apartment complexes.
Yeah, but I was gonna say, like, you guys get temperatures well into the negatives, whereas, North Carolina, they're getting a bunch of snow, but it's still probably gonna be like 30, 28. You really probably don't have to worry about freezing pipes. It's not like you're dipping into the teens or the single digits.
Actually, didn't get too low this year. I think the lowest was like -8.
That's not bad. I think our lowest right now in Chicago has been like 5 or 6, something like that.
We did have 1 week straight though, where it was literally just 1 degree the whole time.
Well, everybody had that, like that cold front that it moved across the entire country. Like that was, and yeah, it was like a stretch of like 4 days. You would have gotten it before us, and then it would have made its way, because it was making its way west to east.
Is the kind of cold where like up here you have to be careful turning your windshield defroster on because the shock could crack your windshield.
Yeah.
Yep.
I actually, oh my god, I watched. So there's this guy who lives right on the floor above me, not directly above me, but in one of the apartments on the second floor, and we leave for work at the same time. I have no idea what he does. I've never really spoken to him, but we bump into each other leaving very frequently, which is weird because I leave super early in the morning, and he's lived there for as long, probably longer than I have, and I've seen him in the winter bring out a glass or a cup of like hot or boiling water to throw on his fucking windshield to clear off the frost. And I've told him before, I'm like, hey dude, I don't know if you know this, but you really shouldn't do that. Your windshield will crack if you keep doing that. And he's like, I've been doing it for 10 years. It's fine, whatever he said. He said something like that. Sure enough, fucking week ago, all of our windshields are frosted up. He comes out, he throws the cup onto his windshield, shatters, like just straight right up, like from top to bottom. Half of his windshield is just like in these like tiny little mosaic cracks. I just like threw my hands up. I'm like, I told you. Like,
I love it when people think they are better than physics.
yeah.
It's undeniable, you idiot.
Oh god. Oh man, we've oh fuck, we've got a lot of shit coming up that I need to pull up here.
Go to what?
We have a lot of like random little things happening soon.
I'm excited.
Well, you're about to get your first quest. Hey,
Yay.
everybody who's here, can you just throw like a quick message in the Roll20 chat so I can see if we're missing anyone still? I think we're missing Aaron. Testicles.
I wanted to try and be like a very not aggressive player,
yeah,
but
okay.
I don't think
What?
that's going to work.
Yeah, alright, Ethel's here.
Yeah, Ethel sure
I
is.
just fucking put it through
Did you just paste your backstory?
Read it.
Little
Oh.
motherfuckers
I'm reading it.
wild and freakadelic grandfather.
So I think we're just waiting on Aaron here.
I miss Aaron. Oh, she was still here.
Yeah, rest in peace.
He threw it back too hard.
You guys hear about the new fucking bird flu going around in China?
Of
Uh-oh.
course, birds fly.
I have not heard.
Yeah, it's a new strain apparently.
Well,
I'm back, sorry.
I mean, no
Welcome back.
disease or virus from China has ever made its way over here, so I think we're fine.
Pandemic 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Basically.
alright. Well, if we're all back, let's kick this shit off again. So you are all surrounded. You're at the booth at the northeast end of the yawning portal. Falloon has scooched his way into the booth. And you're fitting as best as you can. And after a round of introductions and kind of merrymaking and meeting each other, Falloon looks at y'all and says, let me give you the rundown first, real quick. I've got a missing persons case that I need a little bit of help with. If that sounds up your alley, then we can do this.
Have you
And
tried Amber Alert?
He pulls a couple of pouches out from, like, basically a fanny pack that hangs off of his kind of left side waist. He pulls out 6 pouches and just drops them on the table and says, if you take this job, I'll give you, each of you, 10 gold up front, no questions asked. Even if you can't solve this case for me, you get to keep that 10 gold. Now, if you get to solve this case, and if you manage to find my missing friend, I've got heaps more gold waiting for you. What do you say?
I'm in.
That's what I like to hear.
I never leave gold on the table.
Hell yeah. So Floon divvies out a pouch to each of you. You can all add 10 gold to your inventory.
Why do I do that?
Which, so on the character sheet, on the core character sheet,
I see.
at the bottom, it says CP, SP, EP, GP, PP. Add 10 to your GP. You got
So-
10 gold.
15's default, right?
Yeah.
Well, not default. Depending on your background, different people start with different amounts of money. Yeah,
But now I have 20 gold.
nice.
We have 15,
All right.
Nerd.
25.
but I've got a gen worth 10.
I mean,
Well-
I can have 100 with a real quick.
Now that y'all have accepted my gold, let me tell you what I need. I trust that you've noted the violence in our fair city these past 10 days. You saw it break out just over there. The two Zentrum factions are at each other's throats. Xanathar Guild is getting involved in it. Every criminal faction under the books is moving, and they're moving quick. And I have a bad feeling that my friend might have gotten caught in the thick of it. Matter of fact, I haven't seen this much blood since my last visit to Baldur's Gate. But now, as I said, I fear that I have misplaced a friend amidst this odious malevolence. I've got a friend by the name of Floon Blagmar. He's got more beauty than brains, to tell you the truth, And I worry that he took a bad way home a couple nights ago and was kidnapped, or worse even. If you agree to track him down with all due haste, I can offer you 10 dragons apiece now, as I've just divvied out, and I can give you each 10 times that when you find Floon and bring him back to me safely. May I prevail upon you in my hour of need? What say you?
You can.
Of course.
Hell yeah. So just to repeat, my friend Floon has gone missing. I need you to find him, bring him back in one piece. If you find him dead, bring him back so I can have that closure as well. You must have questions, please. I can answer anything that I'm able to.
Well, where was your friend Floon last seen?
Well, if I'm being honest, and I don't really want to be honest right now, but I was with him. We were
Okay.
couple blocks away from here. We were at a tavern, a smaller one than this one. Not nearly as fancy, not nearly as well renowned, but it's a tavern by the name of the Skewered Dragon. We were at the Skewered Dragon. We had been gambling most of the night, and I left early, and that was the last I'd seen of him, and that was 2 days ago.
Did he have any enemies?
Floon? Nah. Floon wouldn't hurt a fly, which is why it's strange to me that he'd go disappearing like this on me. As far as I know, nobody has it out for him. He's not involved in any of the rampant criminal activity in the city or in the sewers of the city. He's just a normal folk. He's a smith by trade. I can't imagine why anyone would want to take him.
Did he have any previous relationships?
Well, other than with me? Not that I know of. Honestly, we're only... I think of him as a friend, but I think he thinks of me as an acquaintance, and I'd been interviewing him for my upcoming novel on the spirits and specters of Faerun, as he had done some traveling and some adventuring in his past. Unfortunately, he couldn't help me out much, but I do worry about him. That's the extent of our friendship, or those few interviews.
Can we get a description of him?
And how do we spell that name?
That name is spelled Floon. I will type it in chat. Floon. Lag. Mar.
If you're taking notes,
Yep,
yes.
it is spelled like that.
Ah,
And you asked for a description, White?
yes.
I can absolutely provide that for you.
Wait, real question: should I actually be taking notes?
So one thing
I am, but like,
one thing that would be smart is, frankly, like a shared Google Doc, because if
Started.
right, like
Already
it,
got one.
and
I can just share it.
yeah, just share it
yeah,
out
there
or
you
something like that, or like post a edit link for each other. If you have like a one combined resource that notes are getting taken on, then anyone can reference it, and if someone's like out,
Right on it.
right, and they were the note taker, then that could be a problem.
Yeah, here, one sec.
Got delicious.
Here, I know what I can do, because I cannot fucking find Floon in my notes at all.
Are we posting our Gmails?
Yeah.
Okay, so as you guys figure that out,
I guess I need to post your Gmails. I'm just gonna make it so.
or yeah, just do like a edit. Anyone with the link can open edit
Yeah,
gotcha.
shareable link and just link that in Discord or something.
Well,
Um,
damn it! Now everybody knows my Gmail.
Send you chain.
So,
Sign you up for
uh,
Only.com.
White asked for Floon's description, and Volo goes, "Oh yeah, well he's a handsome fella, not very bright. He's got this long blonde hair. He dresses quite nice for what he is. He doesn't live in squalor or anything, but he certainly isn't noble. He likes to think of himself as noble though, and he has had some run-ins with some nobles in the past. Now that I think about it, he was mentioning something back at the Skewered Dragon with me. If I remember correctly, he had to he had to pay off those nobles for something, but I don't know the details beyond that. So basic description: long blonde hair, early 30s, kind of a handsome dude, kind
Is
of
he
dumb.
human?
Yes, human. Yes.
Have you checked his house?
I've checked everywhere that I can think to check. I've checked his place of employment. I've checked his house. I've gone back to the Skewer Dragon and sat where we sat. I've asked around. I don't know. Maybe people just don't want to talk to me, but nobody seemed to know anything when I went. Maybe y'all will have better luck. Look, if you want my advice, I'd start at the Skewer Dragon, or at least down on the streets down there. I can show you the way. I can take you down there. There might be a few other people that you could question, that you could talk to. Maybe someone's seen something or heard something, or someone kept an eye out. That might be the best way to go about this. I'm just too busy and trying to write this book. You know how it goes. And he kind of looks at Ethel and like gives a knowing nod.
Okay.
Well, is that all the information that you can provide us right now, or?
That's everything I know.
Okay. Where to
All right,
start in
you're
this
a dragon
big
then.
city?
All right, let's roll out.
All right.
Okay. All right, Autobots.
I'll lead the way. And Volo, the stout little dude, kind of hops out. As he's walking out of the yawning portal, he throws a coin towards Durnan. Durnan catches it out of the air, and he kind of looks at the rest of you a bit expectantly.
Aye.
I
Here you
toss
go,
him a
barkeep.
coin as well.
Do you toss him a gold?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So Ethel,
1 gold.
cool. That is wait, what's? Oh, wait, you're Cavill. I gotta really get that in my brain. So Ethel and Cavill each chuck him one gold piece, and he gives
Whoa, hold up! I'm tipping the barkeep.
And Jeffrey also throws him 1 gold piece, I presume.
Yeah.
All right. And he catches them and says, "Much obliged."
Look at everybody else doing it, and just gonna throw him a gold.
Yeah, I guess so.
All right. So he's got
I'll give you my money. Fuck that.
So
guy.
so Durnan makes 5 gold pieces, and Karoo casually meanders right past him. All right.
Of course.
Okay. So as you guys walk out the front door of the yawning portal, it's a bit past dusk at this point. It's quite late in the evening. But the city still seems alive and well. You as you step out of the door of the yawning portal, your boots are immediately met with the muddy, sloshy streets of the dock ward. So for those of you who've spent any time in Waterdeep, you know that Waterdeep is split into wards. Can you see the page that I just linked?
Yes.
The mud flats.
Very nice. So you're going to want to zoom out. I will, if you go near the southern end of the map, you'll see the yawning portal southeast of Castle Waterdeep. That is where you are right now.
Wait, hold on.
Where are we? Sorry.
So if you look
There we are.
down towards the south, I'm pinging it.
Flats.
You see
Oh,
the
I see
yawning
that.
portal down at the south end of the city.
Good fucking god.
Yep. So that's where you step out. I need to multitask here. If you give me 1 second. So you step out into the streets again. Your feet kind of connecting with the muddy, sloshy streets. Now the buildings on each end of you. Did I get everyone? I think I got everyone. So the buildings all around you are tall, they're narrow, they look pretty ramshackle. I can get you a better description here if you give me 1 second. I'm juggling 1,000 fucking things here.
Oh, the this is where the honorable knight is? Damn.
Yeah.
Who's the honorable knight?
If you read the pamphlet that Kyle graciously gave out to us.
When? When did that?
Well, everyone will get that momentarily anyway. So, as part of
Don't
the.
give me shit,
It was
Savannah.
linked in here.
I never got any fucking pamphlet.
It was literally linked in here.
Liar.
Yeah, we all totally got the pamphlet, Tanner.
Shut the fuck up.
Okay, so you all step out into the streets now. All around you, you're kind of centered in the dock ward, or at least you're at the northern end of the dock ward right now, and it's pretty run down. The buildings are somewhat dilapidated. All of the lanterns in the streets, the glass has been shattered, and the candles have been stolen, seemingly, from them. People are throwing buckets of excrement and waste out of windows and into the streets below. But despite it being somewhat late and getting a little bit past dusk, with the sun just setting down over the horizon, people still seem to be quite active and moving around and moving about the city. Now, Volo leads you.
Describe Cleveland.
I mean, it's not too dissimilar, to be honest with you. Volo leads you heading down south, and you travel south along Gut Alley, kind of going around these bends and these curves, and you're heading down south closer and closer to the ocean. And the closer that you can get, you can hear the waves splashing into the docks, although they're not quite visible from where you're at yet. And he leads the 6 of you in the direction of the Skewered Tavern. Now, as you all round a corner, as you're turning to leave the closed street, you suddenly hear a loud shout, "Get him!" And you see 3 City Watch guards frantically scrambling to catch what looks to be a bandit very similar to the ones that you saw just a bit ago at the Yawning Portal, who has sprung to his feet and is swiftly sprinting away. His hands are both behind his back, so from where you're standing, you can presume that he's handcuffed or that his hands are bound in some way. But he is running straight in your direction, and he's looking to get away from the City Watch. Do you do anything?
So, what kind of tattoo does he have?
It is tough to get a good look at him from here, and he's pretty like built up in this kind of like really thick black puffy shirt that's obscuring his neck. So where you saw those other tattoos on the other bandits that were in that tavern, you can't get a good look at his neck, but he is dressed very similarly to how they looked.
Don't do anything. I just sort of nervously look at the commotion and keep my distance.
Okay.
Is he running towards us?
He's running towards you, presumably to run away, right? Like he just happens to be moving in your direction, kind of dashing through your group.
Can I clothesline him with my shield? Oh, okay.
Oh, that works too.
Okay. Are you gonna do that?
Yeah, I'll just hold out my shield as he runs into it and
Okay.
damage to himself.
Then I need you to roll a athletics check. Oof. Okay. I don't know if you can see my dice roll in chat, but yeah. So you hold out your shield, and he sees it at the last moment, and he dips away from it. This is a dexterous dude for having his arms bound or his hands bound behind his back, but he dips away from it. He kind of jukes around you, and he runs straight past both Ethel and Bartholomew. But the other 4 have an opportunity to do something if you want to try.
I stick my leg out in an attempt to trip him.
Okay, make a athletics check. Yeah. So you jut your leg out, and he's so focused on that shield that was just thrust out of nowhere at him that he doesn't see your boot at all. He connects with your legs, and he just topples face first into a pile of dung that's just sit in the middle of the streets, probably from a passing horse. And he's just wallowing in it. Now, 3 City Watch guards rush up, and they sprint over to him, and again, kind of, one of them sort of like kneels on his lower back. The other 2 are holding his legs down and trying to tie those up. Back the way that they had run from, there are several other city guards who are all surrounding 2 other very similar looking men who are bound, both of them gagged, sitting on the side of the street, and they have just kind of stuck around and guarded those 2, while the other 3 dealt with the one who booked it. So 2 of them pick up the bandit who his face is covered in horse shit at this point, and they take him back to the other group. The 3rd one comes up to you, to your group, and says, I appreciate your quick thinking back there. It's much appreciated. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome, good sir. Can I ask what he did?
Those lot. I probably shouldn't talk about this, but those are Zentarim. Scum of the earth, let me tell you. Now, I won't get into what they were doing or why they're being arrested. That's city business. You don't need to concern yourself with that. But I do appreciate your help. Tell you what. If y'all ever find yourselves in a pickle, if y'all ever find yourselves needing a bit of the city's help, you let them know that I sent you. And
what is your name, good sir?
so he looks at you like he's expecting you to know who he is. And at your sort of request for his name, he's taken aback a little bit. Like he wasn't actually expecting you to ask for his name. And so he just kind of looks at you almost a little incredulously, and says, well, the name's Heustus. Heustus Stagnant. So Stagnant is a name for anyone who has spent any time in this ward of the city. You would have likely heard of him. He's essentially the sergeant in charge of the city watch in the dock ward. He commands the city watch, tells them what to do, where to go, who to question, who to investigate, and who to ultimately imprison. But he's pretty high up there on the city watch. He goes, anyway, appreciate the help. I've got to deal with them. You be on your way. And if I can give you any words of advice, keep this in mind. Keep those weapons sheathed while you're on the streets. Keep the blood off the streets. We won't have any problems. That clear?
Of course.
Yes, sir.
Aye, aye.
Good.
Nice one, SpongeBob.
And he walks on past back over to the group. Volo is just kind of like, nicely done, nicely done. We're already getting in the thick of it, huh? Come, let's go. We're not too far away. Now, as you kind of have to walk towards the city watch and the arrested people that are off to the side of the road. But as you get closer, you notice that the 3 bandits who are bound, gagged, and just kind of being held prison on the side of the road, presumably awaiting like a wagon transport or something to come pick them up and haul them away. You notice that they're actually not alone. There's quite a few dead bodies on the side of the road right behind them. Some of them look similar to the people bound and gagged. Some of them not so much. And the other ones who look a little different all have these like shaved heads. They look a little malnourished, so to speak. And their tattoos are drastically different. Where, as you saw back at the Yawning Portal, the Zentarim, or at least one faction of the Zentarim, have the winged snake tattoos. Some of the dead bodies you see here have lots of tattooed eyes on their cheeks, on their necks, at the top of their heads, and they all kind of form this like cornucopia of gazing eyeballs that peer out from the tops of their heads. But they are dead, and the city watch are draping these blankets over them and kind of trying to cover up their bodies so that passersby don't have to see that. But they seem to be cleaning up. As you're walking past, one Zentarim, the one that you had tripped, looks up at the group and says, "We'll remember that." And the city watch just kind of give you like a, don't worry about it, like, and they just like try to push you along, right? So as you walk along, you get a little bit further, you get down to the main street that the skewered dragon sits on. And Volo kind of gets you to the end of the street and says, all right, look, down there all the way on the end at the left side is the skewered dragon. There's not many signs, so just trust me. It's the last building on the left. Just walk straight in. Skewered dragon, totally normal tavern. Ask around, you might get some help there. Now, there are other shops in this area, so you might want to talk to, anyone that you encounter, see what they know, see what they saw, and report back to me. Once you find Floon, you can find me at the Yawning Portal. I've got a room there. I've been staying there the past 10 days. I plan to stay there a bit longer. So as long as this doesn't take you more than a couple of days, you should find me back at the Yawning Portal where we just encountered each other. Y'all have any questions before I be on my merry way?
I'm good.
Everything sounds clear.
All right. Good luck. And he trots off, leaving you, the 6 of you, at the end of this dilapidated, kind of run-down street in the dock wards, overlooking the streets. There's a few random passers-by kind of walking down. One older woman who's walking with a younger woman. There's a gentleman on the other side of the street who seems to be just kind of leaning up against the wall, minding his own business, smoking on a pipe. But other than that, there's not that many people actually on the streets. So what do you want to do?
Well, I think the first thing we ought to do is head down over to the tavern that he was last seen. Missing it.
Is that what everyone does?
Yep. I'll go with.
Okay. So as you walk down the street, it is very worth noting, you get about halfway towards the end of this row of tall, slender houses, and you can see the building that Volo was pointing out on the back left. And it does indeed look like a tavern. You can see somebody kind of stumble out drunkenly from it, even in the kind of dark night of the city right now, and definitely the dark streets of the dock ward with the lack of any real light source. You can see some drunk fool kind of stumble out and be on their way. There's that tavern off to the left, excuse me. At the very end of the row of houses off to the right is another store that catches your attention. There's a storefront where most of them are pretty barren. Maybe they have some lettering up or some signage. The one all the way down at the back on the right side has this massive fluorescent purple sign that says Old Zablab's Shop. And out from the sign is this billowing purple smoke that just cascades over the front of the lettering. And from what you can see from where you're standing, looking in through the windows, all you can see is purple. It's just purple top to bottom, left to right. Everything's decked out in this kind of lavenderish, but quite bright purple color. So you've got Zablab Shop on the right and the Skewered Dragon on the left. Where do you want to go?
Lizards don't like purple.
I'm pretty interested
for
in the
some
shop.
reason.
I
I'd
haven't
be-
been to this side of a town very often, so I don't really know where to go.
I'm fine with checking
I
out the
don't know
shop
where
first.
we are.
Alright, let's check out the shop.
Okay. So who's leading the way into this shop?
I will.
Okay. So, Cavil, as you put your hand on the door and give it a good push, it swings open. And as you do, it's almost like a cop pulled over someone for hotboxing a car. Because the moment that you push open this door, this massive cloud of purple lavender smoke billows out from the shop inside and into the streets where you're standing, kind of circling and surrounding you. Getting a look inside, every wall is painted purple. Every dusty knickknack on the shelves is dyed a deep violet. There's a hairless old gnome sitting cross-legged on the counter and wearing plum-covered robes. His cheeks are decorated with 9 purple face-painted eyes. The gnome lowers a pipe and exhales a cloud of lavender smoke before raising a hand. "Hail and well met! Come browse the shelves of the most curious curiosity shop in the world." And I'm going to show you guys a picture of what this shop looks like because it's kind of fucking wild. If I can work Roll20 right. Here we go. So there should have been something popped up on your screen.
Yeah.
Yep, there you go. So you can see what the inside of the shop looks like. Like I said, everything covered deep violet purple. In that like throne-looking chair is that that hairless old gnome that's sitting there and puffing on this massively long Gandalf pipe. And she's kind of beckoning for all of you to come inside and take a look around.
I respond back to her in her native gnomish tongue. Hello.
And she says back, she's kind of like pulls back a little bit and she goes, and she says back in gnomish, "Hello, who are you?"
I am the great adventurer Cavill.
Cavill. Can't say I've heard of ya.
Shit. We were just passing by and saw your shop and decided to take a gander.
Oh, well,
You
take a look around, take a look around. I've got all sorts of odds and ends and trinkets and bejunkles and odds and ends. Take a look around, take a look around.
Alright, they start browsing the shelves.
Yeah, I mean, it's mostly like, there's some jewels, there's some gems, there's some jewelry, and most of the, like, especially the jewelry, looks kind of cheap. It looks like it's on the cheaper end of things. The establishment itself is kind of nice, and there's clearly been a lot of time and effort and attention put into the upkeep of the shop and into its design and looks. But the wares that are being sold here, I don't know. You could probably get higher quality things elsewhere.
I ask her if she has any wares of the along the religious lines.
Religious wares, I've got some symbols over on that far right shelf over to the right over there. And she points, it's your right, her left, all the way at the end. There are some there's a necklace with a symbol for Mistra. There's a few rings that have these gems in them that you recognize as being symbols to other great good deities, like what's his name? Maliki is a common symbol that you see in quite a few places. You don't see any, assuming you're looking for it, you don't see any for Ilmater.
And
An interesting symbol on your face there. I feel like I've seen it before. What does it mean?
Oh, it means we're always watching. Always watching. Yes, watching. We can see it all.
wow,
You wouldn't happen to know a fella that recently went missing by the name of Floon, would you?
Floon? Can't say I've heard of him. No, I don't know
a
of Floon.
handsome man.
Handsome? Oh, I've seen plenty of handsome men all day, every day. They come into my shop. Ooh, I like looking. But no Floon. Next question.
Ethel kind of mutters under his breath. Wow. I see.
Do you happen to have any asphalt on hand?
Is asphalt purple? Then no. No asphalt here.
Why so much
Do you
purple?
have any specialty items in the back?
The back? No, there's nothing back in the back. There's nothing back there. It's where I live.
Well,
It is worth noting, because your characters would see this, by the way. This shop faces, it's on the exact opposite side of the street from the Skewered Dragon. So, like, the front windows of this shop look out across the street at the Skewered Dragon.
Is Bolo still with us?
No, he dipped. He's out.
Gone. So, okay, wait. The windows are at the bottom of this picture, right?
Correct.
yes.
Yeah, we came down the stairs.
No, the stairs lead to the back.
Where's the door?
The door is by that long carpet at the front.
Oh, so the windows
Looks
would
like there's
be
an
like,
underpass.
as you walk in, the windows are behind us.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Well, you haven't happened to notice anything unusual at that tavern across the street, have you?
Unusual? When? I mean, there's all sorts of unusual things that happen in taverns. I don't think I need to tell you that.
Got a point.
About 2 days ago.
2 days ago. And she starts, like, stroking her chin. From where you're sitting, you can see there's a few, like, random little jaggedy black and gray hairs that spring out from her chin, and she's just kind of, like, rubbing on them. I might have seen something. I don't know.
Mido.
Probably nothing, though.
Let's see. Maybe if we bought something of yours, it might help jog your memory.
Oh, business is always good. Yes. Yes, business.
Alright, you guys gonna chip in and help me buy something here?
What are we gonna buy?
I don't know, you were the only person who didn't tip the barkeep. I feel like you should buy it.
Me by myself. What's the cheapest item in here?
You could pick up
What
some...
would you recommend to buy to help sway your memory?
Do you ask her that?
A horrible idea. That's a horrible idea.
She raises her like jaggedy crooked finger and points over to the farthest shelf where you can see this like gold plated skull in it's gold plated, but there's these purple like specks and diamonds and glitters in it that's encased in this glass box. And she goes, "Oh, it's a fine one. I found it just a week ago. I've been looking for a buyer, and you look like just the sort. It's only 450 gold."
I'll give you 5 gold for it.
Go ahead and roll a persuasion check.
Ah, yes, the bargain.
Aaron, I'm warning you, this is a really fucking hard roll. You would need to roll really high. Yeah. She goes, 5 gold? I can't pay my rent with 5 gold. No, that won't do. 400 gold and it's yours.
How about we call it an even 20 gold? That's all I have on me.
Can I flirt with her?
400.
I'm afraid that's out of my price range. What else do you got?
Well, if you look around, there's a lot of like little trinkets and things that you can get in between like 5 silver and 10 gold. It's pretty wide ranging. Lots of little trinkets and here, let's see. Hang on.
Is there anything that looks like remotely useful?
Useful? No. Pretty much everything in here is useful because it is purple. You find a diary that's written in a language that none of you know after you pass it around a little bit. You find this 1 pound egg that has like this bright purple shell. It's quite large. It almost looks like an ostrich egg. There's a pipe that just blows purple bubbles that looks like it's priced at 3 gold.
I'm buying the
Buy
pipe.
the egg.
We should chip in to get that for our machine friend. I think he'd like that, since he doesn't need to eat food.
What, the pipe?
Yeah. Or
I caught
like
the
the
inside of
bubble
pipe.
blowing thing. Oh, never mind. Aaron wants it.
Ethel kind of twiddles his thumbs a bit, and after looking around the entire shop, he clears his throat and says, does the name, Bellthorn carry any weight around here?
Belthorn? Can't say I've heard of a Belthorn, no. Sorry.
Let's see.
Also, Ethel doesn't have thumbs.
Yay! Fuck you!
Aaron, do you take that pipe up to the counter?
Yeah, I'm taking the pipe.
Hold
and
on.
I also
I
look
think
for
we're overlooking
a...
the egg.
The egg.
Well, how much
Egg
is the
could be
egg
anything.
worth?
I'll purchase
What's
this
the
egg. How much?
The egg is priced at 4 gold pieces.
Ah,
The pipe
you
at
want to
3
use it.
gold pieces.
I'm taking the
Crew,
pipe.
you got that?
I'll take both. Fuck it. Because y'all don't want to
The
spend
hell?
money.
Well, you don't need both.
No, I'm taking both. I want both.
Okay,
Aaron's
both.
gonna make a fucking scrambled egg.
And you can see her like working an abacus, and she goes 1, 2,
Bitch, I'll help you with seven.
3, 7 gold pieces. All right, so subtract 7 gold from your inventory, and you are now the proud owner of a 1-pound ostrich egg that is painted bright purple.
Wait, can she pull out her abacus again? What's 20 minus 7?
13. And you are the proud owner of a pipe that blows purple bubbles. So you can, in your character sheet, you can add those to... where'd your character sheet go? There it is. So if you go to character sheet and then bio, there's a section for treasure at the bottom right. So you can just type in those things.
Pipe that blows purple
Yep, there you go.
and purple egg ostrich.
Yep. And so she rings it up and she deposits the gold into a little sack behind the counter, and she goes, "Well, now that I think of it, my memory's coming back to me quite quickly. Funny how that happens, huh? The other day I did see a young gentleman. Actually, 2 young gentlemen. Both blonde. Both quite good looking, if I don't say. They left that tavern across this street there. But they were followed by 5 scary looking people. Not handsome at all. No, quite ugly even, I might say. But yes, I saw the 2 of them walk side by side, and they were followed by the other 5. But that's all I saw.
What direction did they go?
Give Kyle a second to figure that out. What direction did they go?
Pull out the abacus.
6.
Oh yeah, okay. They went west. So not the direction that you came from, walking down Fillet Lane, but towards Snake.
Hey, can you ping?
Yeah, I'm pinging right now.
Where we're at? Oh, okay.
Pinging our exact location right here.
Do
Okay.
it one more time. Okay.
Yeah,
thank
I'm
you.
doing it repeatedly. So you're on Fillet Lane. You are in specifically the house right here where that ping's emanating from.
Nail Street.
And you came from this direction walking down
Okay.
Fillet Lane, right? So you are right here.
I thought we were walking down Gut Alley.
Well, you did when you encountered the what's it called? The
That was like a year
Watch.
ago.
Oh,
yeah, the City Watch. Yeah. You cut through some streets, you ended up at the Way of the Dragon, came down south over to Fillet Lane because it's the quickest way. But yeah, you were down here.
Is the Way of the Dragon like just a big like major road?
It's a pretty major road, but it's not nearly as major as the high road. The high road is a road that not only runs straight through Waterdeep, but it also goes extremely far north above Waterdeep and south to other cities. And it just
okay.
cuts right through the city. Right?
I feel like that definitely wasn't important right now, but okay.
You never know.
just asking questions.
So she went west, or she says they went west.
They went west.
They went west.
It's kind of hard to go west when the street right there, dead ends and goes north-south.
Yep.
So, which way did they go on Snail Street?
I don't know. I run my shop. I don't mind other people's business. I just saw what I saw. I give you the information that you so nicely paid for.
Well, I think it's about time we
Paid a visit to the.
To the tavern, more drinks.
All right, so you're leaving Old Zablob?
Yeah.
Okay.
Leave this abacus behind.
So you step out, and she gives you a nice big wave as you leave, and it's only as you're leaving that Bartholomew, you notice something catches your eye as you are walking out of the shop. Above the door, and it's on the inside, right? So you would only see this as you're leaving. You wouldn't be likely to see this as you're coming in. But as you are walking out, right above the door is this. It almost looks like a plushie or like a stuffed animal that's hanging above the door. But it's a stuffed animal of a beholder. And so you just see this kind of like giant eyeball that is hanging right above the door with other tentacle eyeballs branching off of it.
I wonder.
And I need Bartholomew, because you would be the one to notice this and take note of it. Can you roll a quick perception check for me?
don't fuck this up.
Yeah, no, that's good.
He fucked it up.
No, you're fine. As you are walking and you catch note of this, you notice that its eye moves ever so slightly. And it seems to be following your group.
Spooky.
Okay.
Alright. Well, y'all leave Old Zablob's shop. You said you head towards the Skewered Dragon?
Yes.
Okay. So you walk into the doors of the Skewered Dragon. Now, in comparison to the Yawning Portal, this is very much a very muted tavern, right? There's not many people here. It's quite small. It's quite quaint. There's off to the left, there's a 5-seat bar top, and there's some random scatterings of 3 or 4-seater tables. There's a bartender behind the bar top. There's 2 people sitting in conversation, 2 human males who look to be maybe like dock workers or sailors. You only get that impression because you can smell them from where you are, not because of what they're wearing, right? They smell heavily of the ocean. But they are seated at the bar top, and there is one other dwarf sitting alone, drinking ale at a table by himself.
So, before we, so I noticed some significance with this eye thing. Am I able to talk out of character to like?
Yeah, say what you want.
Okay.
Sure.
I'm assuming this is a beholder, which is like I guess as Kyle said, is some sort of deity thing with many eyes, and we also saw many dead bodies on one of the streets that had tattoos of many different eyes on them. So there's probably some sort of link in this area, so I don't know how well we can trust her information, even if it is just minor.
We might need to be careful about what we ask, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and you can't go west of the place.
That's
She
the
gave us,
biggest
like, nothing
issue.
information.
Walked west
honestly, that's a-
past the building.
That's
but
a
then
big
they hit
issue
the
to me.
road,
You-
and she doesn't see what direction they went after they leave the side of the window.
You get the impression that that's what she meant, that they went towards Snail Street, and she doesn't know if they went north or south on Snail Street.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. But Tinder, you raise a good point. You raise a good point. Yeah.
It's a good point. Like, come on.
Yeah. You're not wrong.
Totally different
Wonder
street.
for information, or like if she was paid to be like keep it quiet. She seems like the type of person
fuck,
that
we
can
paid
just
her
be bought.
7 gold.
Obvious, yeah.
He's got
That's the only
whole
reason she told us
badass.
We
information.
paid her 7 gold?
Oh, shut up, Aaron. You didn't tip the bartender.
Go pop your bubble.
I never got a drink.
Yes.
I never got a drink.
Yes, you did.
Oh, I never ordered
No, he
one.
didn't. He didn't sit down. That's a fair
I never
point.
ordered one.
You just when what's his name came up to you, you're just like
If he gave me a free drink, that's on him.
you still got a drink.
All right.
Well,
remind me
what do
to
we
never
wanna
go
do
to
in
the bar
this
with Aaron.
tab?
So, well, as you walk into the skewer dragon, the 4 people in the bar, the bartender, the 2 at the bar top, and the dwarf, all look up at you in a look that says you're not from here. Like, you don't belong here. They give you this kind of inquisitive look and then go back to their business. The bartender cleaning off the counter, the 2 engaged in whatever their conversation's about, and the dwarf drinking alone.
So this guy's racist against lizards then, huh?
I hope so.
Wow, that's mean.
He doesn't like your
Said there was a dwarf, right?
There is a dwarf, yep.
He was sitting alone.
I walk up and greet him.
Are we supposed to be seeing something?
there
or
a-
just
Yeah, is
How
there
are
a
you?
bar?
No, you still on the map.
Okay, just
Yep.
making
I haven't seen many of the dwarves outside Mithril Hall.
Yeah, we're few and far between down here in Waterdeep, huh?
It is nice to find another one. It reminds me of home.
Home? Are you from Mithril Hall?
That is where I was created. Yes,
Wow. Can I get a look at you?
of course.
And he kind of like he gets up out of his chair and he walks around you. He's only as tall as roughly your waistline, but he's like kind of looking up and down, and then he goes and sits back down and he goes, good handiwork on you. They did well.
My creator was quite the craftsman.
It
He
sure
raised me and taught me everything he knew.
sure looks like it. I mean, if you can craft half as well as that man, I imagine you put out some good steel.
I was a clan crafter for House Battlehammer.
House Battlehammer, you say? Wow. Well, it's an honor to be in your presence. I didn't catch your name.
Rusty Gearmouth.
Rusty. I'm Solomil. Solomil Silverfinger. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Tell me, what brings you and your friends to the Skewered Dragon? We don't see many folk looking like you're looking out here.
We've actually are looking for a man named Floon. Does that ring a bell?
Floon. You know it does. Now, as you said Floon, the bartender looks up, looks in your direction of this conversation, and then goes back to his business. Now, Solomil, who you're engaged in the conversation with, says that he does know Floon, but then he follows it up with, look, ain't none of these darn fools here gonna tell you nothing you can believe. If you want to know about that skitty boy and that pompous asshole, you'll have to win it from me. So tell me, Rusty, what do you want to lose? Your coins or your consciousness?
My God, a mini game.
My consciousness? How would I bet that?
We can either play a game of wit, or we can play a game of, how do you say it in Waterdeep? Fisticuffs. He's basically saying, you can either gamble, or you can fist fight.
Suppose a game of wit would be more my strong suit.
You can hear Jeff in the background slightly saying, "Fight, fight."
Okay. But so if you want to gamble, he goes, all right, well, take a seat. And he pulls out a board from underneath the table. He pulls out this board and he opens up one clasp and opens up another clasp. And you recognize this game. This is a really common game, not only in Waterdeep, but actually in many cities in the continent. It's called Savah, which is kind of a bit like chess, that the Drow had invented some few hundred years ago. The idea of the game is to destroy the other player's noble house, and it's a game of skill, deception, and insight that takes about 30 minutes to play. So he gets it out, he sets it open, and he goes, "So what do you say? You want to wager on this one?"
What will the wager be?
He leans back in his chair a little bit. He reaches into his coin purse and he feels around a little bit, a little dissatisfied with what he feels in there, and then he pulls out 4 gold and puts it on the table.
I reach into my pouch and pull out 4 gold and place it on the table.
Now we've got a game going. Let's do this. All right, so to play this mini game, we're going to keep it really easy. I need you to roll 3 different checks. And it's going to be a measure against the checks that I roll as this guy. Let me just find his stats here real quick. Okay, +1, +0, +0. Okay, cool. First check is going to be an intelligence check to see who can outsmart the other. Yeah, so you're easily able to get up a leg up on that side of the game, and you get up to an early lead. You take a few of his pieces, he takes one of yours, but you have a pretty commanding lead right off the bat. Next up, I need you to make a deception check. Oof. So while you clearly have the smarts in the situation, he gets a few good trades on you, and he's able to kind of maneuver his pieces in a way that leads you to believe that he has one strategy when he really he pulls his flank around and goes for an entirely different strategy. So we're at 1-1 right now. This we go to the tiebreaker with the wisdom check. Sorry, an insight check specifically.
You can do it.
Group hooking is ours.
Nice. Yeah, so it's a close call. He gets a few of your pieces, but ultimately you intelligently weave your way around the strategy that he's playing, and you're able to kind of lock him into a choke, essentially like a choke point, with the way that his pieces are set up, and you easily take his noble house at the end and win the game. And he leans back in his chair and goes, "I would have played better if I hadn't had all those drinks in me. Y'all, you win, fair and square. Take the 4 gold." And he shoves his 4 gold Annie towards you.
Thank you, sir. But I was hoping to get a little information instead and push the 4 gold back to him.
I see. You can keep the gold. You won, fair and square. Take the gold. It's yours. You won. I'm a man of my word, if nothing else. I know, Floon.
Honor to your people, sir.
I'm in here frequently enough that I've seen Floon around these parts. Now, I don't know him by name. I don't actually know the name Floon, but I figure if you and your gangly bunch are coming in here asking questions, then it must be about that event from 2 nights past. Does that sound about right?
Exactly.
I saw Floon in here with an old chap, Arthur. Forget his name. Can't quite remember, but he was with that short writer guy who goes around Waterdeep and interviews people. Well, the writer left, and Floon stuck around with oh god, what's his name? And he kind of looks over at the barkeep, and the barkeep shouts out, "Renair." He goes, "Ah, Renair, that's right, Renair. God, chip off the old block, that one." And one of the guys seated at the bar top kind of responds to that and says, "Yeah, just like the rest of those nobles, man. They only want your money." He's like, "Ain't that the damn truth?" Anyway, Renair and Floon were seated together talking for some time. I do remember that. They left, and they were followed out by 5, quite intimidating-looking gentlemen, if I must say. They were dressed in black, tough to see their faces, but I'd seen them around here, and I only remember because I haven't seen any of them back. Not the 5 gentlemen, not Floon, not that Renair nobleman. None of them have come back since they left together. Which leads me to believe that those 5 might have been Zentarim, and they might have been up to, well, up to no good.
You see which way they might have gone.
I can do you one better. I know where those 5 hang out. I didn't see which way they went, but I did see once they left outside the, once they walked out the doors to the Skewer Dragon here. I saw those 5 jump the 2, throw a bag over their heads, haul them off. Now, I didn't see which direction they went, but I can only presume they went to that old warehouse.
Okay, why does nobody know the direction?
Sounds like that'll be our next stop then.
He goes,
Thank you, sir.
of course. Now you can find that warehouse. I've seen them come in and out. I don't know what they're doing there. I'd be mindful. I'd watch your step. But that warehouse is on the corner of Dar Alley and Presbo Lane. Not far from here, actually. Only about 2 blocks over.
Those fuckers went south on Snail Street.
Perfect. We'll see what we can find out there.
I appreciate the good game. It's been a while since anyone's matched me in a game of Sava.
I'll come back and play you again sometime.
I look forward to it. Now be gone and go get your friend. And he goes back to sipping his ale.
Well, he was nice.
It's like that fucking card game in The Witcher. Yeah.
Bro, you have no fucking idea how many dumb little mini games I put in the
I'm
city.
sure there's plenty.
I really hope that you guys find the
Wait to get
Oh,
signed
I
up
like
by all of them.
I mean, it wouldn't be a spoiler for me to say that somewhere in the city every night there is a drinking contest.
I'm in.
And
Get
it's
drunk, I won't lose.
Look, there's a reason that GIRFE is great friends with Durnan. So gotta get that drinking in.
okay. I imagine you are leaving the Skewered Dragon and walking the way he told you to go?
Yeah, and guess what? We're heading south on Snail Street.
Going
Well,
right here.
you head south down Snail Street, you hang that right, and you get to what is very you get down to Dar Alley, and you're looking around, and it's you're trying to get a sense of where you are and looking for the warehouse that he said was here. The problem is there's a lot of warehouses. Pretty much this entire row of houses are warehouses, and they're all old and derelict and kind of beaten down. I need everybody, all 6 of you, to roll a perception check. Perception.
Bro,
Wow. Well, that's a 0.
I have such a hard time finding this shit.
maybe they're not actually in a warehouse.
Luckily, the rest of your party all rolled tremendously well. And it is no problem for the vast majority of you to see that one of the warehouses on the fence post just outside the yard of the warehouse, you can see an insignia of a snake with a winged snake.
That bastard. So can we just like tell Bartholomew like, hey, just like look over there, buddy?
Yeah.
You
Point
know
it
that
out.
one
Hey,
scene
hey,
from,
buddy. Hey,
Grab the
dummy.
physically
Look
You know
over
that-
here.
Hey guy, come on.
You know that one scene from Futurama where they're like telling Fry where the biggest mountain in the galaxy is or whatever,
Oh yeah.
and you just
I
can't
know
see
what
it.
you're talking about.
That's what's happening in this situation.
Okay. So that warehouse catches your attention. So I am going to drag you guys over there in just a second. Just gotta find the right
Over
one.
there, where? Scenery change. It means a fight is more than likely coming.
You can't see anything right now, right?
No, I know.
No.
Just making sure. Okay.
Does anyone
Is it
feel
the absence of light? Is everybody feeling squeaky?
Sneaky.
Oh, sneaky.
I just want to double check.
I can be sneaky.
Okay.
I
We
think.
made you to be sneaky.
Okay.
I think I can be sneaky.
I'm gonna drag you guys in.
Where's the stealth shit?
Chill on moving around just yet. Unfortunately, I didn't set this map up in a great way.
Well, I can't see anything.
I know. I'm moving y'all in.
Which
Well,
means we got further than you think we did.
uh,
We would.
not.
Way to underestimate the group, huh?
He's not wrong.
You simpleton.
Okay. So sorry, this is my fault because for not making this map as good as I could have. So you should be visible now. You should be able to see. You were standing in the road a little to the left of where you actually are on the map. So you're a little bit to the left of that because right in front of you is this large sort of chain link fence. There is a gate on the fence, and just beyond the fence is a yard that has a lot of rubbish and trash and old furniture and kind of rotting wooden boxes thrown into the yard. And beyond the yard is this warehouse. But to be able to get into the yard, there is a fence that stands in your way. So, I ask you guys.
Can I jump the fence?
You can certainly try. Roll me an acrobatics check.
You sure you don't want athletics? Never mind. That's
No, let's do athletics. Yeah. So you're all kind of standing on the street, and Cavill almost gets this Leroy Jenkins vibe, and he just fucking goes for it. Cavill, as you reach out and grab onto the fence, nothing happens. It's a perfectly normal fence. And so you're able to climb up and leap effortlessly with a nice little tumble over the top, and you land just on the other side in this dirt yard.
All right, now
Some
Cavill,
training
open the
paid off.
fucking fence.
how?
Open the gate.
There is a gate. It's kind of covered up by people. It's right here.
Oh,
There is a gate.
okay.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna walk down there and I'm gonna attempt to open the gate up.
Okay. It opens. It was unlocked.
Oh. Hey, wait, so what you're saying?
I did not have to do that.
Yeah, it was incredibly unnecessary, Cavill.
Yeah, but it looks cool, right?
It looked pretty dope.
Classic Prince Charming.
So, standing in this yard, now that you're a little closer to the building, you can see a few more of the flying snaked insignias. There are, from where you can see, from where you're standing here, you can see 3 entrances, potential entrances to the warehouse. So I'm going to ping a few things. To the north, up here, right here, is a painted over window. It's been painted over from the inside. At least from where you're standing, it doesn't look like you can see inside at all. Right here, there are 2 massive loading doors that were used, presumably, by this warehouse when it was operational. It doesn't look operational the way it stands now. And down, all the way down south, is a door, a steel door that otherwise looks pretty normal. So, gang, what do you do?
Anybody
Okay.
stealthy enough to take a peek?
I can give it a go.
Anybody else stealthy?
What about our little snake friend,
I have a 2 stealth.
lizard
Who's
boy?
different?
Booty?
Wait, can
He was stunned by Cavill's fucking vault.
question?
Yeah.
We can't just walk up to this window to see if we can see inside of it. We have to be stealthy.
You can try.
We can do whatever we
Press
want.
my
really.
face against the window.
So you said it's painted through that it looks like we can't see through, but I want to make sure that we actually can see through.
Okay. Do you walk up and look through?
I walk up and look through.
Yeah, it's heavily painted over in black ink. If you press your face up against the glass, you can see shapes that are inert. So you see these like kind of squared shapes on the other side of the window, but you can't really make out what they are from here.
Are they moving?
No, they are perfectly still.
Can the window be opened?
No one's tried.
Opens the window. Tries to open the window.
You grab onto the ledge, at least an angle that you can kind of get some grip, and you give it a tug, and it doesn't go anywhere. It appears to be locked.
Breaks the window.
Oh God!
Is
hold
that what
on,
you're doing?
Let me move away first.
Are you going?
Posers in chat.
How about?
Were we gonna
No.
try to be stealthy at all, or?
Okay. All right.
Said it.
Doesn't
I mean,
break the
fuck
I'm,
it.
window.
hold on. I'm a stealth boy. I got like a 4.
Okay.
So
Can I inspect the loading bay doors to see how noisy they would be if we tried to use them?
Yeah. So they seem to.
that robot.
From what you can gather looking at these doors, these are large swinging doors, and you can see like in the dirt right beneath your feet like a path carved out in the dirt from where they would have like swung out into the yard in front of you. So these doors seem like they would pull
opens
towards
to
you.
us.
Correct. Yeah, that's the impression that you gather based on the markings around the
And
door.
The doors are like right here.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Those are the big doors, and then there's a perfectly normal door right here.
Normal door here.
Yep.
Okay. Well, can I just see if that door is locked?
Yeah, you give it a tug. It doesn't budge.
Okay, it's locked. All right. Somebody else come up with an idea.
You don't have any like thieves' tools or anything?
The fuck is that?
No, there are 4 people in this party with thieves' tools.
How do I know if I have the? Oh, I have.
It would be in here.
Thieves' tools are what let you lockpick.
All right, fuck it. I'll attempt it.
So, are you attempting the window or the door?
No. The window.
Okay.
I want the window.
Go ahead and click on the thieves' tools in your thing.
Yeah.
In your character sheet.
Nothing.
It should have done something.
I'm clicking a billion. I don't. I clicked
Oh,
on it, and
click-
it's just putting a cursor.
Click. Do you see up to the up left from where you're probably looking? There's a little box that says tool
okay,
proficiencies.
Yeah.
Click on thieves' tools in there, and then it'll
My proficiency is just a question mark.
say attribute question mark, and you'll click dexterity.
Dexterity.
Yes,
Okay.
and then submit it, and it should pop up in chat.
Look
21.
at that window is fucking open.
Yeah.
You know it.
So you walk up to the window, and you with your thieves' tools you kind of you weave in one of the this long barbed hook in this little crevice that you can find, and you finagle it down, and you're able to just click up this latch on the inside, and it pulls up effortlessly.
Right.
And upon seeing this, Ethel kind of like moves back and forth on each foot and asks, "Isn't this kind of breaking and entering?"
Shut up, Ethel. I'm gonna go inside.
We were paid to do a job.
Okay.
I'm gonna slither my ass in there.
Are you trying to be quiet, or are you just like?
Yeah, silently.
Okay.
I don't want to be seen or heard.
Then I need you to roll a stealth check.
No problem.
So
Heavy armor.
yeah, you. So you, because you are wearing heavy armor and it kind of clunks as you move about, you have to roll stealth checks at disadvantage, just so that you know.
So that's a 13.
It's a 13. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So you climb in through the window and you end up on the inside of the warehouse.
All right.
Now, from where you are standing, so don't move around too much here, Tanner. But
I
from
see the one person.
yeah. So from where you are standing, you're in this massive warehouse central kind of floor, central floor of a warehouse. Looking around, you can see. Hang on, I could be more specific.
Wait, are these my lizard people?
Hang tight. So, looking around, you see a lot of old, rotting boxes that look like they've been out of use for a long time. You can see tables and chairs that have been carelessly tossed all along the floor. There's a bunch of these like old wooden soled sandals kind of billowing out of boxes and lying haphazardly all over the place. And from where you climbed in through that window, you can see all the way at the right end of that warehouse one shrouded Kenku.
What?
So all you can make out from where you are is that
the name of like the?
it's a race.
Kenku?
It's a race.
Yeah.
So
it's
so
like
the reason
Raven Boys.
you would know what it is. So it's like a bird thing.
Fucking weird.
Without wings.
It doesn't have any wings.
Dinosaur is what it is.
It can't fly. And the only thing that you can see from where you are that lets you know that it's a Kenku is that you can see its long beak kind of jutting out from its robes.
Oh, okay.
But that's all you can see from here. So, Tanner, because you are newer to this, I'll kind of give you a little help here. You've got two options here. I mean, you can forge in on your own, or you can go back and tell the rest of the party what you saw, because technically nobody else knows what I just said.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just do that second one there and get back outside.
Okay. You climb out back through the window, and we'll just kind of speed run it, and we'll say, like, you tell everybody else what
Yeah, I tell everybody what's going
what
on.
you see
What I
inside.
saw. Yeah.
So what you saw was the old derelict warehouse, and you saw the one Kenku at the
And
far right side.
everything's moldy.
Yep, everything's very moldy. So you are back outside in the yard.
All too familiar.
Here's
Oh, what the fuck are you doing over there?
I don't want to be trespassing.
Get back.
so here's what I'll say. And actually, let me do this for you guys because you opened this window, so you should be able to see through it. There we go. If you guys want to take a minute or two to talk strategy about how you want to do this, and we will pick up from here next time because we are at time.
I will stand guard.
I will close roll 20 because we're done. Right?
Yeah, like it just like the most like we're just strategizing and then ending.
Yeah, but I mean, we don't need roll 20 open for that, right?
No.
I mean, well, I guess. Wait, Kyle, am I allowed to like do one of these things to like show where I saw that person? So I'm guessing that's a yes since you're doing it too.
Sorry, I muted myself. Yeah, he's literally right
Okay.
here.
Yeah. I was gonna say So other than that, there was nothing else. I couldn't see anything in this area here. I could see here, and I could see here, and it was all blank, and then there was the one person back here. That's
So
it.
we could potentially all just
Direction he
sneak
was
into
facing?
the window.
What?
Can I wallbang
Sorry,
him?
what? What did you say,
Nope.
Egan?
Do you know what direction he was facing?
I don't think it.
He was looking. If we're assuming this map is north at the top and south at the bottom, he was looking south.
Which would be literally every map ever made.
Yeah, I'm just
Definitely
clarifying.
don't use the other doors.
He did not seem like he noticed the giant, stealthy, heavy armored lizard's presence.
What's the thing called that you found again?
Kenku.
How do you spell that?
Kenku.
I'm just making notes, so I'm trying to.
Yeah, I kind of forgot that I picked heavy armor. The chainmail.
I mean, it gets you a good AC. it, just,
Yeah, but
it just makes it really hard to be quiet.
the thing is, like, I went for like good stealthiness, and then just fucked it all up with picking the chainmail.
All right, well, I'm